Hopefully be really good. We've been good on the intermediates all year, so I'd love to have a great start to the next round.
It's time to go racing in Texas.
Tell me what lovely country really is till you've seen Texas.
It's the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. And every exciting lap is right here on PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Well, if all your exes live in Texas, it might not be such a lovely country. But otherwise, no.
Well, it's a big state, so if they're spread out, it's okay.
You could probably avoid running into it. Is that what you're saying? A lot of folks here today at Texas Motor Speedway have gathered here to watch this first round playoff, the first playoff race in the second round here, as we try to whittle down the field to 8 contenders eventually in a couple of weeks. Let's go trackside and get it all started.
And now, here to say the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome 3-time CMT award-winning singer and songwriter, Shelly Roll. What's up, Texas Motor Speedway? Drivers, start your engines!
The command has been given. Let's crack them up.
Now, the starting lineup presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza.
Starting 36, Todd Gilliland of Biohaven Jacob Company Ford. 35th, it's J.J. Yaley, the Patriot Mobile Bowls of Honor Ford. Rolling out 34th, B.J. McLeod in the Gunk Chevrolet. The 33rd starter is Zane Smith in the Ambetter Health Ford. 32nd, Austin Cindric, the Discount Tire Ford. Starting 31st, Chase Briscoe, the Rush Truck Center's Cummings Ford.
Then starting 30th in the Dex Imaging Ford, it's Harrison Burton. Going off 29th, Chase Elliott, the Kelly Blue Book Chevrolet. Then it's the Leaf Filtered Gutter Protection Chevrolet for Justin Haley, 28th. 27th, Corey LaJoy in the Cambridge Chevrolet. The Shelton Company Chevrolet for Ty Dillon is 26th. The 25th, Ryan Priest, the Autodesk Ford. Then it's the Kroger Noss Energy Drink Chevrolet for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 24th. 23rd, Ryan Blaney, the Menards Dutch Boys Ford. Then it's the Hunt Brothers Pizza Ford for Kevin Harvick, 22nd. His speed, 188.337 miles per hour.
And that's the starting lineup here at Texas Motor Speedway for the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400.
And the starting lineup presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. At Hunt Brothers Pizza, we love racing and we love pizza. Visit huntbrotherspizza.com to find your next pizza.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Make your plans now to stay at the South Point Hotel Casino and Spa next March when NASCAR returns to Las Vegas. They have great race ticket and room packages for you to choose from. The South Point also features a wide variety of excellent dining options at 11 different restaurants. Or you can enjoy the 16-screen movie complex and visit the 64-lane bowling center. Visit SouthPointCasino.com and make your reservations today. Stay with a racer. Stay at the South Point Hotel Casino and Spa. Engines have fired here at TMS, and we're just moments away from the start of the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Truex on the inside, Byron in the middle, Chastain up high.
Hamlin now beginning to come to the front. He's got the edge now. He'll take the lead away.
Brian Blaney sliding down into the grass. There was a lot of bumping and grunt. And Blaney noses into the infield retaining wall.
Ross Chastain doing a great job. Truex right there, big in his mirror as they race down the backstretch here. Harrison Burton is spinning down the back straightaway. Everybody going to the top side. Here comes Kyle Larson. Larson dives to the bottom of the racetrack. He wants to lead all four. Chris Buescher has trouble.
And a spin off of turn 4.
Yeah, we've got a ton of cars that are in this one, and Larson is certainly one of those cars. Trouble coming out of turn 4. Hamlin is sideways. The car spins down on the
the apron of the racetrack.
Byron takes that brightly painted number 24 to the front. He gets a big shove from Daniel Suarez.
This is PRN.
Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. Time now for our state water heater view from the turns, and we are happy to report that our booth location has been moved. We were down in turn 1 for the last several years, kind of like calling a football game from around the 10-yard line. We're on the 50-yard line now, and it gives us a much better vantage point. So when we pick up the cars, we'll grab them out of turn 4 as they fly down the front stretch here. Front stretch is banked 5 degrees. It is a double dog leg, which means there's 2 distinct left-hand kinks. And as they leave our vantage point, they'll head off into turn 1 where it's banked 20 degrees, and that's where they will come into the view of one Nick Yeoman.
Thank you so much, Doug Rice. You mentioned it, 20 degrees the banking here in turns 1 and 2. Yesterday, Kyle Busch, when he spoke to the media, he mentioned about how important it is to get into turn number 1 and how it really sets up your entire lap. If you're too aggressive into turn number 1, at Carl Chase up the racetrack into the marbles. If you're hesitant getting into turn 1, you're going to be searching all day for the apex and probably setting yourself to be passed down the back straightaway. It is a fantastic vantage point here, high above turns 1 and 2. One groove that you want to stay is at the bottom of the racetrack, right along that white line. Yesterday, though, in the Xfinity Series race, we saw guys go up to the second groove, make some passes, and navigate traffic. Once they rocket out of the second corner, they will fly underneath the bigger Haas TV, where they'll pop into the view. The voice of the Indianapolis 500, Mark James.
Thank you very much, Nick Yeoman. Happy to be here. 1,330 feet is what they'll need to tackle when they hit down that back straight. Approaching turns 3 and 4, very important. 3 and 4 banked at 24 degrees through its 750-foot radius. There's some room to roll that widens out to 60 feet. As the race progresses, expect that high line to come in. Off of 4, it flattens to 5 degrees, but it narrows up in a hurry past the pit road entrance. You have to pick your poison. Late in the race, the high side can give you all the momentum you need down the banking to carry you to the start-finish line, but the low side, the dog leg, is the shortest way to the finish line, and we'll see who gets to victory lane later today.
Cars now going down pit road to get their pit road speed. It is a speed limit of 45 miles per hour today. The pace car will run 55. Our stages. Stage 1 ends at lap 80. Stage 2 at lap 165. And that gives us 102 laps to get to the 267 to make up the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400.
And that is our State Water Heater view from the turns. View from the turns brought to you by State Water Heaters. When you need a water heater, make sure you get a State. Visit statewaterheaters.com to find a professional installer near you. And we're ready to go. One more pace lap, and we'll turn them loose for 400 miles.
Pace car driver, by the way, for NASCAR today, Jesse Dollavoot, throwing the flags. Shannon Bednarik.
Bubba Wallace on the front row, along with Chris Buescher. The rest of the top 10, Brad Keselowski, Ty Gibbs, Ross Chastain, A.J. Allmendinger, Kyle Busch, Daniel Suarez, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin. 3 non-playoff drivers inside the top 10 to start this race today.
And I think all of them, they would be considered dark horses, but they certainly do have a chance to win this race. The big crowd in Texas getting set to get on their feet. We're a beautiful sunshine day here in Fort Worth, Texas. Can't wait for the green flag to fly.
Got about another lap or so to go here. Let's circle back around and get the observations of our turn announcers here before we turn them loose. Nick Yeoman, you got a nice perch there in turn 1.
Yeah, and a big salute to the Hardy race fans as well, as it's been documented during the pre-race. It is a hot one, a scorcher here at Texas Motor Speedway. Temperatures up around triple digits north of that, and as you guys touched on it, it is a fantastic-looking crowd all the way down the front straightaway. The field of 36 right now making their way across the start-finish line. That dog leg that you talked about, that played a role yesterday. Had a driver, Daniel Hendrick, that clipped that dog leg, tore up the splitter, so driver's going to have to take care of the race cars through that part of the racetrack. But it is a great-looking field, Doug Rice, as we are set to start around the 12 of the 2023 NASCAR playoffs.
Thanks a lot, Nick Yeoman. Mark James, look forward to taking the handoff from you today.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Happy to be here. Congratulations to the fans for showing up in mass. And they were here earlier. You know, every NASCAR race is special all throughout the course of the season. But there is no question that when you arrive at the racetrack early on, there is a noticeable buzz. Even the fans realize what's at stake. And these drivers, they're simply talking about points. The old adage goes, you win races, the points will take care of themselves. But they're going to pile them up today any way they can, and they're going to do so in front of hardy, dedicated, rabid race fans. Again, congratulations to them. Happy to be here, Doug. Look forward to calling the race today.
And of course, round 3 coming up, Doug, kind of standard. You've got Las Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville, but here in round 2, once you leave Texas, 2 wild cards. You've got Talladega and then the Roval. You want to win today. If you're one of the 12 guys that can lock in a spot in the round of 8 today, you want to get it done.
I find it amusing that we're referring to this one maybe as the tame race. Flashback a year ago to this race, 16 cautions for 91 laps of yellow. So it's not a guarantee that this is going to be a walk in the park here today at Texas Motor Speedway. Pace car, hard left-hand turn onto pit road, and we're ready to go racing in the front row today. It's Bubba Wallace and Chris Buescher as they get into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Bubba Wallace on the charge on the low side. Looks like he's going to pull the train to turn 1.
Bubba not wasting any time as he knows it's ahead of Chris Buescher.
To settle into the 4th position. Bubba Wallace going to grab P1 on the turn 4.
Buescher trying to go around him. With Bubba Wallace sliding up the racetrack to block him. Wallace leads lap 1. They're back in turn 1.
Going to go up a good fight. Chris Buescher did. Now he'll slot in about 3 car lengths behind Bubba Wallace. Then it's Keselowski running 3rd. 4th position is the number 1 machine of Ross Chastain. Then it's a side-by-side battle. Now the backstretch for 5th.
Yeah, side-by-side battle for 5th is going to shake itself out a little bit as the front 4 now start to string themselves out. Bubba Wallace took the advantage by 4 car lengths. Ty Gibbs in that car that grabbed 5th.
Ty Gibbs took 5th away from A.J. Allmendinger. Right behind A.J. Allmendinger, it's Kyle Busch, Daniel Suarez, and Christopher Bell.
And Kyle Busch, a 4-time winner here at Texas Motor Speedway, and he'll start to reel in A.J. Allmendinger for that 6th position. Single file, though, Mark, through about the first 15 cars.
Kyle Busch said 2 is very important because he says if you get through 2 cleanly, it can carry you all the way to 4, especially since he doesn't think you should ever live through 3 and 4. Bubba Wallace hasn't lived it. He has a 5-car length advantage off of 4.
His teammate Tyler Reddick just drove around Eric Jones for the 13th position. Meanwhile, Wallace, the leader, back in 1.
Even separation. Front 3 have stretched out just a little bit for Ross Chastain. And still, Bubba Wallace. Then you got Chris Buescher, his teammate Keselowski at it 2.
Second place giving ideas that it could have gotten interesting between 1 and 2, but it looks like Chris Buescher is going to take care of that. He stretched it out a little bit, although he's saying that Keselowski gets a nice run into turn number 3.
Bubba Wallace started on pole, unchallenged so far as he comes back around here with 76 laps to go here in this first stage. We're early on, but Buescher's not letting him drive away, Nick.
No, he's got a hum there, about 2 to 3 car lengths really since the start of this race. Just kind of picked his spot and stays at about 4 car lengths at the exit of turn 2.
Ross Chastain is staying with that pack, although he's about 8 car lengths back. There's pretty equal distancing between that top 4 as they rocket through turn number 3. Now all of a sudden, Buescher looks like he's hit the button up at turn number 4.
Little farther back, Eric Jones wants to wrestle that 13th spot away again from Tyler Reddick. Reddick almost caught the wall coming out of turn 4. Those 2 cars door to door in turn 1.
Tyler Reddick was the winner here last fall. He's got that 45 car up in that outside groove. He'll lose that spot to Eric Jones. Now he opens the door. I believe that's Alex Bowman who's going to challenge to the inside, Mark, down the backstretch.
They are side by side in the halfway point of the back straightaway. Bowman in that 48 car to the bottom side has it by about a nose. Here comes Reddick storming back to the high side in the entrance to 4.
It's a pretty good side-by-side battle here as they come down the front stretch. Reddick now working to the outside of Alex Bowman. He's hanging tough.
Yeah, Reddick on the only driver in the top 15 or 20 that seems committed to the top side in that second groove. He'll lose that spot to Bowman. Now tucks inside as he tries to hold off Michael McDowell out of turn 2.
McDowell gets a really nice run off the bank into the exit of turn number 2. Gets a run on Reddick at the entrance of turn number 3. It's about a half a car length. Meanwhile, back up front. Equal spacing between first and second and third.
It's Wallace, Buescher, Keselowski. Then you have Chastain, Ty Gibbs, A.J. Allmendinger closing in there.
And behind them, it's Kyle Busch. It's about 4 or 5 car lengths ahead of Daniel Suarez. Then you've got playoff driver Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, and Denny Hamlin. That's how they run it at turn 2.
They're not stacking up behind Ross Chastain, but he is losing that front 3 that he was trying to keep pace with. Kyle Busch now looks like he wants to make things interesting. Little back of the pack, setting up for turn number 4. He's working on A.J. Allmendinger.
They come back to complete lap number 8. Bubba Wallace has led all of them. And Mark, at least during the early going, that high line, we saw Tyler Reddick try to go.
By the way, for all the people that are just now joining, thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't already, make sure and subscribe. I stream just about almost every single NASCAR Cup Series race. I mean, I've been doing it all year. So again, guys, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. And if you don't want to miss next weekend's race, subscribe because I stream them like all the time.
Clean off the racetrack a bit, but after losing two.
By the way, again, everyone that reached out to me last night, thank you so much for the birthday wishes and the condolences. I went to the Oklahoma City State Fair and there was a shooting, and luckily enough, me and my family were able to make it out of there safe. So yeah, but thank you guys for the prayers. So yeah.
To play with that second lane in turns 1 and 2 on my end of pit road. Also, you mentioned up top in the booth, Doug Rice said Tyler Reddick had dropped. Tyler Reddick does not feel comfortable in dirty air right now, which is a lot of it for Tyler Reddick. He's in 15th, Brad Gilly.
Ross Chastain is currently running in the 4 spot, starting to back up to Ty Gibbs just a little bit. Chastain radioed in and told crew chief Phil Surgeon that 1 and 2 is good, but what he's not feeling in 3 and 4 is the right rear. He wants to have that comfort, but the car's just not settling in for him.
Right now, Doug, with Wallace, Buescher, Keselowski, they're not racing away from the pack, but they're kind of inching away. They've created a gap back to 4th place Ross Chastain.
It's about 15 car lengths, I think, from 3rd place Keselowski back to 4th place running Chastain. And even though Ty Gibbs said he had a problem with something hung up on the splitter, he's locked into 5th and hasn't been challenged in that spot.
So back there, a little farther back in the top 10, Chris Buescher now being challenged by Kyle Larson. Also right there, Denny Hamlin. Larson now drives underneath Bell in turn 4. So you're going to move Larson up to the 9th spot. Denny Hamlin now looking inside his teammate in turn 1.
Christopher Bell jumps out of the throttle. I think he's going to give that spot up to Denny Hamlin. Hamlin got a great run out of turn 4. So move Larson up a spot, Hamlin up another, and Christopher Bell drop kick 2 spots as Austin Dillon charges behind. Yeah, we watched that the last couple of laps start to get really interesting in view. It was a matter of time before Larson made his move. He was able to tow Denny Hamlin along with him. So slot Bell into that position. Austin Dillon, Eric Jones running just behind him.
And that's a battle going on at the back end of the top 10. Larson is 9th. 10th is Hamlin. 11th right now, C. Bell.
And right behind them is the number 3 machine, that Bass Pro Shops car of Austin Dillon. We're watching Kyle Larson starting to move up the racetrack. Also just saw Eric Jones as well. Mark, there are guys searching around here. Yeah, and I think Ross Chastain's going to have some company before long for that 4th position. He has Ty Gibbs in his tire tracks. Gibbs pulls within 3 car lengths of the end for the 4.
Doug, at this point, we've had no big gainers or big losers. Justin Haley has gained 4 spots. Chase Briscoe, Todd Gilliland 3. Corey LaJoie has lost 4. Austin Cindric and B.J. McLeod have lost 3, 2, and 2 spots respectively. Also, Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex Jr. have lost, but only a couple of spots.
It's almost like the drivers' meeting. Everybody said, you know, at the start of this, let's play nice. It's going to be a long enough day. So right now, your top 5 are Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Brad Keselowski, Ross Chastain, and Ty Gibbs.
Watch parties aren't what they used to be.
Welcome to today's matinee.
Ever since we got Xfinity, my little sister and her friends can easily stream all their favorite stuff.
We'll start with 2 episodes of Top Chef, then Chopped.
When I was a kid, we'd worry about buffering. Now they just worry about what's on the charcuterie board.
Enjoy these fine meats and cheeses.
These are just kind of hot dogs and spray cheese.
Indeed.
The best way to stream your favorites is on the Xfinity 10G network. Restrictions apply. Stream Top Chef on Peacock.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, QuietTech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Z-Max gives you increased gas mileage, improved performance, and reduces wear on vital engine parts. Available at fine retailers like AutoZone, Pep Boys, Advanced Auto Parts, and Walmart. Z-Max performance you can feel. If you just joined us, the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400 is just underway, and Bubba Wallace has led all 17 laps. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, this is Doug Rice, host of PRN's Behind the Mic, a podcast where we talk to the top sportscasters from all over this country. People like Tim Roy, the voice of the Golden State Warriors.
It made it so much more interesting and so much more challenging in the sense where you knew that this team was, moving in a historical direction.
Marty Brenneman, the longtime broadcaster for the Cincinnati Reds.
Our engineer, Dave Arbruster, who was with me for 46 years, said, I've just gotten a call from the clubhouse. Lou wants you to put an open appeal out on the air and ask Tom Browning to come back to the ballpark.
Ben Ingram, the play-by-play voice of the Atlanta Braves.
Winning the World Series, that was so much fun. It was the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. Who wouldn't want to repeat that? Broadcasting is easier. What we do is easier when the team that we're covering is performing well.
Remember to check out PRN's Behind the Mic and hear from the great voices of sports wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. 20 laps into the show here at Texas Motor Speedway. Bubba Wallace has led them all, trying to pull away now. Enjoys a 1-second advantage over the field. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. Doug Rice alongside Mark Garrow. Pit Road is Wendy Venturini, Brett McMillan, Brad Gilly. In the turns today, it's Nick Yeoman and Mark James. We have completed 21 laps. They have all been led by Bubba Wallace. He has a 1.1-second advantage. And Mark, what do we say about clean air?
It is king of the hill.
It is proving that today. It's royalty right now as Bubba Wallace out in that clean air can plant the nose of that car. He can keep his brakes cooler. All the advantages go to the leader.
Let's go down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brad Gilly.
Well, Mark, I'll tell you, Ryan Blaney is really struggling with his race car. He's actually running back toward the back of the pack right now. He hopped on the radio, told us crew chief Jonathan Hassler that he needs more help on entry, both ends of the racetrack, and really just needs overall grip. They're struggling right now. Carson Hocevar started 19th. That's where he's running, but the team is actually happy with his performance and how fast he is running right now. He's just a little bit loose. And for Christopher Bell, he told Adam Stevens his car fired off tight, but now it's starting to turn way loose on him.
Ryan Blaney currently running in the 25th position. Doug Wallace running out front isn't that big of a surprise in the sense that he finished 7th at Darlington in race 1 in round 1. He was fast enough to win at Kansas, but got a flat tire, wound up 32nd, was 14th at Bristol to move on. Now his season best finish is 4th, but he's done that at Kansas, Las Vegas, and Charlotte, all tracks, kind of intermediate speedways, just like this one.
And he's pulling away right now. 1.4 seconds his advantage over Chris Buescher. Ross Chastain, 2 seconds back in 3rd. Brad Keselowski is 4th, 5th to Ty Gibbs. 6th is A.J. Allmendinger. Kyle Busch is 7th. 8th, Daniel Suarez. 9th is Kyle Larson. Denny Hamlin rides in 10th.
11th is Christopher Bell. Eric Jones, 12th. 13th, Austin Dillon. Tyler Reddick now 14th with Alex Bowman 15th. 16th, it's Michael McDowell. Martin Truex Jr. 17th. 18th, William Byron. Carson Hocevar 19th. 20th, Eric Almirola.
21st is Kevin Harvick. Justin Haley rides 22nd. 23rd, Joey Logano. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 24th. Ryan Blaney, we just talked about him. He's back in 25th. He's 17 seconds behind the leader. Ty Dillon is 26th. 27th is Ryan Preece. Chase Elliott, 28th. 29th goes to Chase Briscoe.
Oh, jeez.
Is 30th.
Corey LaJoie, 31st.
I'm actually...
2nd, Zane Smith. Austin Cindric, 33rd.
I'm actually really shocked that Bubba Wallace is performing this well right now. I'm going to be really pissed if something bad actually happens to him, because I would rather see a playoff upset win than, some other fucking driver that we already know who would have a chance, to make it to the next round. But honestly, if Bubba could do something today, that would be that would be amazing. By the way, 69 likes, nice.
Starts catching the back markers. BJ McLeod not that far in front of him.
And then, Doug, you've got everything kind of spread out, and then you've got a big pack of traffic that the leaders may have to deal with by the time we get to the end of stage number 1 in this Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. At this point, we're about to complete lap 28, and that will leave 52 to go here in stage number 1, which will end at lap 80.
Watch him. We may have a battle here. Nick Yeoman shaping up for the runner-up spot. Ross Chastain starting to reel in Chris Buescher.
Yeah, reel in is the correct way to put it, because it was about 8 car lengths. It's got it down to about 3 as they exit turn number 2. Chris Buescher and Ross Chastain rocking out of turn number 2.
Yeah, he got Brad Keselowski about 5 laps to go, and since that time he has had Buescher in the crosshairs. He caught up with him about 2 laps ago. He's within 3 car lengths now at the entrance to turn number 4.
This battle happening 2 seconds behind leader Bubba Wallace, who has led all now 29 laps. Buescher will lead Chastain back to the banking.
Bubba Wallace about to put BJ McLeod, the first car, a lap down. Behind them, about 15 car lengths. Is that battle for second? Chris Buescher about a foot off the apron in turns 1 and 2. That's going to allow Ross Chastain. Mark is close to within a car length.
Both have the benefit of the banking at the exit of turn number 2. It's down to about 2 car lengths now at the end of turn 3. Now Buescher bumps it up a little bit, leads it by 4 car lengths at the entrance to 4.
Chris Buescher, the pride of Prosper, Texas, hanging on to second place. The Watermelon Man, Ross Chastain, trying to run him down right now. Still about 2.5 car lengths back.
Watermelon sounds fantastic on a hot day like this, by the way, but it is Chris Buescher still holding down that second spot. A lot of fans here rooting for that young man, hometown kid, Ross Chastain, about 2 car lengths behind.
He got within that 2 to 3 car length range and kind of been stuck there. He's not been able to improve any, but he's not fallen back any either. Meanwhile, just behind him, Brad Keselowski has company one more time. This time it's Ty Gibbs, although A.J. Allmendinger's about to lose his spot to Kyle Busch.
BJ McLeod has lost the lap. Kyle Busch now swings around Allmendinger, so move Busch now up to 5th.
Yeah, Kyle Busch just looked pretty racy here in the early goings. He got around Allmendinger at turns 3 and 4. Now setting his sights on Ty Gibbs, who's trying to run down Keselowski. That's a good 3-car battle there, Mark. 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Not suggesting we have side-by-side racing through 3 and 4. I think it's still too early for that, but they do appear to be running about a half a groove higher. And when you exit 4, that gives you plenty of momentum to that double dog leg.
Been migrating up the racetrack just a bit at both ends of the speedway. Pretty nice battle here going on for 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's Keselowski, Gibbs, and Busch.
Kyle Busch immediately takes it to the top of the racetrack. That's going to open the door for A.J. Allmendinger, but Busch has got the momentum built up. He'll hold on to that spot, 6th out of turn 2.
Looks like he got a strong run up at turn number 2, but it's like he gets so far that all of a sudden the car just won't keep its momentum. Now it does as the bottom of the racetrack opens up. Kyle Busch takes a beat underneath Ty Gibbs, but can't make the pass just yet.
Let's go down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Wendy Venturini.
You guys were just mentioning Kyle Busch and A.J. Allmendinger. Kyle Busch seems to be running a little bit higher line. He said that others have a little bit different arc than him in the bottom, according to his spotter up top. But he just does not have the grip. Now behind him is A.J. Allmendinger, and he said he is free. He has no grip up there. He also noted, I don't know how he's doing it up there, meaning Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch has just gone around the outside of Ty Gibbs. Now looks inside of Brad Keselowski. Kyle Busch trying to get a twofer. He's back in 1.
Slicing his way through the field under the Texas sun. He gets around Brad Keselowski. Keselowski's going to keep that car to the outside. That's going to open the door for Ty Gibbs, the youngster, charging to the bottom of 2.
Gibbs gets a run that you don't normally see off of turn number 2. Allows him to stay side by side at the entrance in turn number 3. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch starts to pull away. We'll see if Gibbs can make the pass stick to the bottom of the racetrack on Keselowski. He does. Now Brad Keselowski has concerns with the form of A.J. Allmendinger.
Give Kyle Busch the 4th spot as he crosses the start-finish line. Next in line is going to be Ty Gibbs, and behind him it's Keselowski. He's dropping back a bit.
Yeah, Keselowski takes that car right back to the bottom of the racetrack, the more conventional line. A.J. Allmendinger's got it wound up on the top, Mark. He's got to run out of 2.
High groove, the benefit of that run. Now he's slipped to the bottom of the racetrack to hold on to that momentum, and he will grab the spot. He will slip around Keselowski at the entrance to turn number 3. So, see, that shuffle itself. Daniel Suarez now working on that pack as he works off in turn number 4.
So moved A.J. Allmendinger up to 6, dropped Brad Keselowski back to 7. Meanwhile, it's been all Bubba Wallace early on here at Texas. He's led all 36 laps and has a 1.5-second lead right now over Chris Buescher.
Hunt Brothers Pizza always offers 10 toppings to choose from at no extra charge. That's 1,024 topping combinations at one price. At Hunt Brothers Pizza, we love racing and we love pizza. Visit huntbrotherspizza.com to find your next pizza. We work hard to keep our cars looking great on the outside, but engine components need our attention too. That's where you can trust Z-Max Micro Lubricant to disperse carbon buildup in your engine, fuel system, to keep your car or truck running at its peak. By soaking into the metal of your engine, Z-Max Micro Lubricant improves performance, extends engine life, and reduces emissions. Trust the many customers who said, "Thanks for saving my engine." Find out more at zmax.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
By downloading the free PRN mobile app, you can listen to all of our live race broadcasts anywhere. You'll also have easy access to all of our award-winning studio shows. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app.
36 laps in, the pit cycle is open here at Texas Motor Speedway. Christopher Bell's already been in for 4 tires in Sunoco fuel. Ross Chastain is in. He gets a wedge adjustment on the right side to help tighten him up. 4 tires in Sunoco. Wendy Venturini.
Kyle Busch, the fastest car on the racetrack right now, just came in. 4 tires, fuel, and a very speedy pit stop. The right front tire almost got away. They saved it at the last second. Brett McMillan.
Chris Buescher came in, got a 4-tire stop, but then stalled it as he was leaving pit road. Started it up, but that cost him some time. Meanwhile, Bubba Wallace is in. Very happy with the way that car is running. He finished on the right side, coming around to the left side. Everything going well. Denny Hamlin also in. He's getting a 4-tire change. No adjustments. And this is Michael McDowell, Brad Gilly.
William Byron, 4-tire stop. 2 cans of Sunoco for him. Daniel Suarez wanted to be tightened up. He actually had a faster stop than what William Byron had. Alex Bowman also going to be coming in this lap for his pit cycle. Wendy Venturini.
Kyle Larson was on pit road for 4 tires and fuel 1 lap ago. Leaving pit road just now was Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick has been deep in the field and not moving much. Started 22nd, making some adjustments to get his car a little bit more speed. Brett McMillan.
Eric Almirola's in. He's getting a 4-tire change. Car has been just a little bit tight. Gives an air pressure adjustment. He pulls back out and a 12-second stop for him. We expect Martin Truex Jr. in momentarily.
Under this exchange of green flag pit stops, Alex Bowman has led a lap, and so has A.J. Allmendinger. We'll now sort out the field. We'll give you a rundown when we return to Texas Motor Speedway after these scheduled green flag pit stops, but we owe our local stations a break. Here it is. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Keselowski misses turn 1, and 4, 5, 6 cars pile in.
It heats up when the weather starts to cool down, and it offers you a brand new experience every time you're there. It pairs the drama of wheel-to-wheel action that makes and breaks championship hopes with the festival atmosphere, creating the type of awesome weekend you won't want to miss. It's
We got a caution. It's Austin. Holy shit. Holy shit. Find a great time to leave me a loose wheel. Hey, my wheels are gone. Why's my wheel leaving? My wheel.
Entrance to the winter circle and back to the parking lot. Every lap, the roller coaster of excitement, and every evening is a
Well, shit.
But don't blink or you'll miss it. There's something fun around every corner, and you never know what's coming next. It's the Bank of America Roval 400.
It looks like the car's okay. I don't think it got hurt that
42
bad.
laps into the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400, our first yellow flag of the day, and Austin Dillon is the victim here. And Mark, with the benefit of the replay, it's easy to see why he brought it out.
You need 4 tires. If you have 3, not very good. Mark James, what do you see out there right now?
Well, the car is parked at the bottom of the racetrack, and it is sideways. And we saw just about the time he came to a stop, that tire rolling separate from him. But all the emergency personnel, tow truck on the scene now. Car's running to the high side, but he is setting facing up toward the banking in the bottom of turn number 3, the Wendy Venturini.
The good news is Austin Dillon is okay, but he did come over the radio and say, unbelievable. How did you guys not tell me before I got to turn 3? The reason is because it's very treacherous for a driver to go in there with a loose wheel, let alone losing everything. He lost the tire, the wheel, everything came off of Austin Dillon's car. He did climb out. He is okay, but unfortunate. Something might have broken. We're going to follow up with the 3 team to see exactly what happened with that wheel.
Recently, of course,
That little tiny thing that's circled, I think that's the lug. I think that's the big lug nut.
Been with throughout most of the year, going over to Kyle Busch and vice versa.
And Mark, as Wendy
This is a reason why they should switch back to 5 fucking lug nuts. Quit relying on one big ass fucking lug nut to keep your wheel on your fucking car. Go back to 5. That way, in case one falls off, you still have 4 left on each tire. Doesn't that sound more safe? Jesus Christ, fucking people, stupid. They're stupid. Look at that fucking lug nut. It's just up there rolling around. I'm pretty sure that's the lug nut. I think it is. Hell, it fucking looks like it.
a wheel and a tire coming off of a car like that means probably somebody's going to get a little involuntary vacation.
That is correct. Tire changer, and I believe the jackman, I believe is the way the rule goes now.
And so there'll be a penalty assessed to that team on top of this, and an early exit here for Austin Dillon. And we've got a few cars that I think did not make it down pit road the first time around. They're going to come and visit right now down to Wendy Venturini.
Yeah, a lot of the major players on my end had already pitted. We have Chase Briscoe down here and Ty Dillon, but further down by Brad Gilly, I believe Ryan Blaney is making a stop.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney needing some very much needed service. He has just not had a good handle on this race car so far here in the opening laps of this race. Going to be a 4 tire change. They'll top off with Sunoco race fuel and an air pressure adjustment. Brett McMillan.
Chase Elliott comes in, it's a little too much air in the right rear so far. He gets a 10.2 second stop, 4 tire change. Austin Cindric also in. He gets a left side wedge adjustment and a 4 tire change, full tank of Sunoco fuel.
We also see now, again, as some of those cars did not pit, Ty Dillon led 3 laps as the leaders pitted under green. Chase Elliott led a lap, and again under that exchange, so did A.J. Allmendinger and Alex Bowman. But clearly the dominant car here so far is the pole sitter, Bubba Wallace. They dropped the green flag, and he was gone.
I got to give a salute to a hearty bunch of fans right along the start-finish line, Mark, that have huge flags that they're waving. They've got an American flag. They've got a flag for No Limits Texas. Of course, they've got a bigger-than-life Texas flag down there, and they've been standing waving those flags religiously since this race started.
And a nice-looking cowboy hat for one of those guys, right?
You got to have that, too.
Yes.
A lot going on here. We're under our first yellow of the day. Austin Dillon, a solo spin up in turn 4. We should get a complete reset on the scoring when they come to the start-finish line this time by, so we can reset the field for you. And it's always a strain, Mark, when you have one of these coming right in the middle of green flag pit stops. The majority of the top-running teams had already made their stop, though.
They absolutely did. And I believe, Doug, when this all cycles out, Ty Gibbs, no, it is going to be Bubba Wallace as the leader again. Ross Chastain in the second spot, and we'll get more of that rundown in just a moment. Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
I just spoke with Keith Rodden, crew chief for Austin Dillon. He said it was a loose wheel, and then the loose wheel cut the tire. So, unfortunately, it was an accident that happened on pit road by manually on the pit crew right there. But we will try and catch up with Austin Dillon at the Infield Care Center in just a few moments.
Thank you very much, Wendy Venturini, an interview that he would probably rather not do. Now we can pretty much take you through the field here as they run on lap 45. We're over halfway through stage 1. Bubba Wallace is the race leader. Ross Chastain has moved up to second. Third is going to be Kyle Busch. Chris Buescher is 4th. 5th is Kyle Larson. Tyler Reddick 6th. 7th belongs to Denny Hamlin. Brad Keselowski 8th. 9th Mark Truex Jr. And 10th is Daniel Suarez.
Eric Jones 11th. William Byron 12th. 13th Alex Bowman. Carson Hocevar 14th. 15th Michael McDowell. Christopher Bell 16th. 17th Eric Almirola. Kevin Harvick 18th. 19th is A.J. Allmendinger. 20th Chase Elliott.
Ryan Blaney will be 21st. 22nd is Chase Briscoe. Corey LaJoie 23rd. 24th Harrison Burton. Austin Cindric is 25th. 26th to Ty Dillon. 27th will be Justin Haley. Ty Gibbs is being scored 28th, and I think it looks like he is a lap down. wait till scoring updates that. No, he is not. Ty Gibbs is 28th, though, 29th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Joey Logano, 30.
Ryan Preece is 31st, 32nd is Zane Smith, then one lap down in 33rd, J.J. Yeley, Todd Gilliland 34th, B.J. McLeod 35th. Austin Dillon, unfortunately, will get credit for last place today. He's the first car out and will finish 36th.
A leaderboard update brought to you by Hunt Brothers Pizza, where we love racing and we love pizza. Visit huntbrotherspizza.com or download the new Hunt Brothers Pizza app.
What kind of year has it been for Austin Dillon, Doug? This is a guy that usually, he completes a lot of laps and doesn't have many DNFs. DNF number 9 this season for Austin Dillon. 31 finishes or worse in 4 of his last 6 races.
19th start here in Texas for Austin Dillon. He does have a win here, but usually averages around a 19th place finish. Let's go to Brad Gillen.
Doug, during that last run, Ross Chastain heard the words that about every driver wants to hear on a longer run, that his lap times were not dropping off as fast as the rest of the field. He was actually starting to gain. Phil Surgeon just asked him, however, how his car fired off at the start of the race. Ross said tight, but he is going to get a front row starting spot opportunity right now, running second to Bubba Wallace. They're pretty confident that he's going to be able to bury it in there, maybe take over the lead of this race.
All right, we'll see what the driver of the one machine does. His lone victory coming at Nashville, but that was good enough to get him to the playoffs, and he played well enough in the first round to advance to the round of 12 here today. And he's looked pretty racy here in the early going, has Ross.
He sure has. Very steady. And Chastain currently, of course, in that runner-up position. His teammate Daniel Suarez, no slouch either. Right now, he's currently running 10th. And he could use a little bit of good news.
And it looks like that our race leader, Bubba Wallace, picked the inside line to start on, and Chastain will be flanked to his outside. Right behind Bubba is going to be Kyle Busch. Beside Kyle Busch to the high side will be Chris Buescher, and that's how the top 4 will start up as they are creeping by the start-finish line so everybody can hit the choose line up here. They're only running about 20 miles an hour here as they're coming around the back of the pack.
They choose and then they race like crazy to catch up to the field that's midway down the back straightaway at this point. When they come down to the line, 48 laps complete will leave 32 laps to go here in stage number 1 that will end on lap 80 of this, the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400.
And keep in mind, a little shorter race this year. We've got 220 laps to go out of 267 as they have taken away 100 miles of racing. Hopefully that makes the other miles a little bit more intense. Pace car lights are off. It's getting ready to edge and turn 4 and head to the Geico restart zone as Bubba Wallace being shown as your race leader to the inside. Flanked to his outside is Ross Chastain. Row 2 is Kyle Busch and Chris Buescher, and they inch towards start-finish line. Green flag is out, and once again on that inside line, Bubba Wallace gets a little bit of a jump here on Chastain.
He moved up, I think, to block Ross Chastain's pursuit of the race lead as they race into turn number 1. Ross isn't going to go away. The Watermelon Man charging hard on the outside, and we've got 2 cars spinning at the back of the pack. One is Eric Almirola, the other is Alex Bowman. They both slide up the racetrack, maybe make light contact with each other, kept it off the wall, but the yellow flag is out here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Caution period number 2 in this race at Texas. We'll come right back with more green flag action.
The NASCAR playoffs are here, and everyone on the Toyota racing team is gearing up to bring the championship home. Like Andre and Steve, who've been growing out their playoff beards.
I've been growing mine for 20 years. Doesn't that just make it a...
Wow, I'm so shocked that my guy got wrecked. Wow, what a surprise.
Be part of the action at Toyota.
Just fucking retire already.
Toyota, let's go
Jesus.
places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
And now a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive. And today expect mostly sunny conditions with a high on life that can only come from cruising down the road on 2 wheels. Kids will wave, dogs will bark, and cyclists in padded shorts will instantly regret their chosen mode of transportation. Whereas you, on the other hand, will look super duper cool. Back to you in the studio.
Bruh.
This has been a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive, where every day's a beautiful day to ride with coverage from America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get a quote today and see what you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Want more unfiltered NASCAR Let's try that again. You want more unfiltered NASCAR analysis? Well, visit our YouTube channel at GoPRN Live, where you'll find expert opinions, race breakdowns, and much more from our great lineup of studio programming. Like and subscribe to GoPRN Live today. So right now, most of the leaders bypassing pit lane under the second yellow flag here at Texas. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
If you have a chance to make a difference in a kid's life, you need to take full advantage of that opportunity.
For those kids to know somebody has their back, somebody is caring about them, thinking about them when they feel like nobody is.
Anything that I can do now to support Speedway Children's Charities, I do because I've seen the work firsthand.
We owe it to children, no matter where they come from.
Unfortunately, there is no end to some of the terrible atrocities in our world. Speedway Children's Charities can feel really good that we are getting the most good out of every dollar that's given. At Speedway Children's Charities,
Our mission is simple. Help every child we can.
Because all children
deserve joy
And hope.
And love.
And if one child is still in need,
then there's still work to do.
Because their future is our future.
and there's still so much they can teach us.
Find out more at speedwaycharities.org.
Welcome back to Texas. We are under caution as Eric Almirola involved in a wreck. He's in the pits right now. They're doing some work on the left front fender. They're trying to seal it from both the inside and the out. They're taking the left front tire off. They're sealing the hood on the inside and the out. They're putting the left front tire back on, trying to keep him on the lead lap. They're going to have to hustle. They may not make it. They're screaming, you got to go, you got to go. We'll have to see if he sees it. This is second pit stop trying to fix the damage to his car. Brad Gilly.
Here at the Infield Care Center, I'm with Austin Dillon, whose car sailed into turn 3 after a loose wheel. Austin, how frustrating is this, and how do you handle it on Monday?
Yeah, it's a rough deal, obviously. You never want that to happen, and hate it for our Bass Pro Shops mechanics. They built a really good fast race car. I mean, we were hanging in there pretty good, and long run, I thought we were actually coming back to the pack. So, it's unfortunate. Just been one of those years.
That's Austin Dillon, who's actually been under the weather all weekend as well.
Again, you talk about a tough year, 9 DNFs, and that's usually the trademark of Austin Dillon. He puts in the laps, completes a lot of laps, and this has not been that kind of year.
I thought he was very diplomatic there in handling that and not throwing anybody under the proverbial bus. Let's go to Brad Gilly.
Alex Bowman sitting in the pit stall with his engine off, but that's not a bad thing. They already came in and changed the 4 tires. He didn't come in with the flat, but the reason for him getting loose was he just got loose in between cars. They're on the DVP right now, but they're checking to make sure everything is okay with the car. They had a little bit of left front damage. They patched that up. They just dropped the car. He fired it back up. They're going to put some Bear Bond on it and send him back out.
When you look at the replay, he's in the middle of the sandwich. He went into one, he got a little bit loose, went up, bumped off Christopher Bell, then bumped off Eric Almirola, sent Almirola and himself into a spin, almost synchronized. They kind of spun about halfway, down through there nice and easy, and then Bowman on the inside slid up and banged into Almirola just slightly.
It's been 54 races since Alex Bowman took home a checkered flag, and Mark, that number's going to jump to 55 today. This year, I'm sure he would just as soon forget this one as soon as the calendar turns over and focus on 2024.
And again, I don't believe he's 100%. Yes, his back is healed since the sprint car accident and the fracture there. It is healing. That kind of injury, Doug, just takes a long time, and I'm sure the off season it'll be a great time for him to rest, be 100% for 2024. But he'll tell you, like when they go to the race at the Roval, that jerking of the car back right and left, he still feels that in his back, and he's still trying to get back to 100%.
All right, here at Texas Motor Speedway, 28 laps to go here in stage 1. Top 10 read like this. It's Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch, and Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., and Daniel Suarez make up the top 10 as they come into the view of Mark James.
As this run extends, if it does, have my eye on both Chastain and Busch at the end of that run, prior to that pit window. They are the drivers whose cars seem to get better as that stint goes along. We'll see. Pace car is off. They're entering the Geico restart zone.
So now Shannon Bednarik has the green flag in hand. She waves it. We're back underway. Bubba Wallace on the inside gets a jump, but here's Chastain driving up to his passenger door again.
They all come dangerously close to the grass, and now they're going to go 3 wide as Bubba Wallace left the inside open for Kyle Busch. Busch, though, had to jump out of the throttle. Now he's at risk of going 3 wide for third.
Yeah, Chris Buescher to the high side, Kyle Larson to the bottom side. He is the meat in that sandwich, and he may lose a couple of spots. Denny Hamlin going to take a look underneath Kyle Busch as well. Meanwhile, front two stepping away from that battle for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth.
Kyle Larson gets a little bit of separation in third, but here comes Kyle Busch to try to close it in. And we've got another caution problem on the racetrack right now, and we have slowed for the third time today here at Texas Motor Speedway. Todd Gilliland brings out this third yellow.
Gilliland lost a tire, as did, of course, earlier Austin Dillon. And so his car has stopped dead in the middle of the back straightaway.
Another fucking wheel.
Not nearly the kind of damage.
It's another wheel.
Parts and pieces flying off his car, however, that we saw with Austin Dillon just a moment ago.
So
Someone get the wheel.
Becomes another victim here today at Texas Motor Speedway as his number 51 machine sets helpless out on the racetrack. And in quick succession, 3 yellow flags here today at Texas. We went 41 laps before we saw the first one. Tire came off of Austin Dillon.
Get the wheel. Someone grab the fucking wheel.
And then quickly it's Todd Gilliland bringing out number 3. And we're not out stage 1 yet.
I was just going to say that. Oh, by the way, we still have 25 laps left the next time they come by the finish line in that first stage. I'm glad you could join us here on PRN. I'm Mark Garrow along with Doug Rice out there in the turns for us today. Nick Yeoman and Mark Janes and our O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporters, Brett McMillan, Wendy Venturini, and Brad Gilly.
So we've had 2 cars lose tires today, and that's going to be penalties for these teams. And you get the penalty, too, of probably not finishing out the race today. But on just about every restart, Ross Chastain challenging Bubba Wallace. But, Mark, so far, Bubba's been able to hold him off.
I thought a couple of drivers, Doug, were very judicious in the decisions they made. Kyle Busch made it 3 wide going into turn 1. When he realized it wasn't going to work, he backed out. They go racing down the back straightaway. Buescher to his outside, to his inside, Kyle Larson. They got by. Kyle then came back down the racetrack, blocked Denny Hamlin. Hamlin had ideas about sticking the nose of his car in there, and he said, you know what, not right now. So I thought, again, good judgment there in tight racing, in tight quarters.
And Kyle Larson's the guy that got the advantage there before the yellow came out because he was back there 3 wide. He managed to get away from that, and they were all congested behind him. But then again, we are slowed here by a 3rd yellow flag of the day.
One thing, Doug, that has been consistent here in the playoffs for the Cup Series in 2023 is Kyle Larson. First 3 races, he won at Darlington, top 5 in all 3. Looks like he's got top 5 potential winning potential as well here today.
Kyle Larson's average in the playoffs has been outstanding. He averages 2.3 a finish. That's not bad. Mark, you keep that up and you may be paving your way to a 2nd Cup title.
In racing, that's microscopic.
Yeah,
that's it. That kind of number.
He is holding everybody back. And Kyle Larson, impressive right now as he's a fixture in the top 5. He runs 4th under this 3rd yellow of the day here at TMS. Keep in mind, last year, a lot of yellows. I think they had to refuel the pace car a couple of times, Mark, because 16 caution flags. What was it, 91 laps under yellow?
Yeah, the pace car driver led the most laps last year here at Texas Motor Speedway. I mentioned earlier the winner, Tyler Reddick, led 70. And again, we are slowed by this caution flag here at Texas Motor Speedway as we go down to Wendy Venturini.
Joey Logano has come to a stop on pit road. They're working on the right side, which I can't see what the gentleman's doing on the right front side of the race car. He had started 20th, moved up to 16th. They keep working on the race car, but I'm going to guess there's damage that he is working on that right side, right front. If you guys can see it, you guys can comment as well. But let's head over down to Brett McMillan.
Hey, Eric Almirola's back in again. They continue to work on that car, continue to massage, push down the tape as hard as possible. On the left side especially, where they've really taped the hood down. On the outside, they're also doing some body work on the right front fender, at the corner of the fender where the fender meets the bumper. They're doing some work over there as well, trying to help the aerodynamics of this car as much as possible. Brad Gilly. Interesting fuel strategy going on right here because we've had these 3 quick cautions. One thing we do know, these race teams can make up or lose a lot of ground on pit road under caution. Chad Johnston was talking fuel strategy with his driver Ryan Preece, and what this does for them now, typically at the end of the first stage, they might actually have to wait on fuel before they do or when they do a 4-tire stop. According to Chad Johnston, we run this stage out 39 laps. When we come in, we're only going to have to dump in 1 can of Sunoco race fuel. That means Ryan Preece will be able to go on the track. That means he'll be able to get the fastest pit stop possible.
That update on fuel mileage brought to you by Sunoco. Sunoco puts the same focus and care that goes into the fuel at its stations that it does for the race fuel that powers the fastest stock cars in the country. Sunoco, fueling NASCAR for 20 years.
We've been given the 1 to go signal when they come back to the line. 22 laps left in stage number 1. Bubba Wallace, the leader, has chosen the inside. Then on the outside of row 1, Ross Chastain. Row 2, inside, Buescher. Outside, Kyle Busch. Inside row number 3, it is going to be Kyle Larson. To his outside, Denny Hamlin. And then in row number 5, inside, it'll be Tyler Reddick. To his outside, Martin Truex Jr. And Doug, I was going to say before we got that caution, Martin Truex Jr. now looking a little bit racy in this event. He did show a lot early, but right now seems to have things going a little bit better.
23 laps to go here in stage 1, which is 80 laps in total. They're in front of Mark James.
And again, I say, if things can go green and stay clean for an extended period of time, not only do I think Chastain and still Busch are awfully fast, but there's no question that high groove now is a place where these drivers are very, very comfortable. Pace car is off, cars are headed to the Geico restart zone.
Bubba Wallace will lead them to the green flag yet again. It's back out. Wallace on the inside does not get the jump on Ross Chastain the way he did the last time. They are locked absolutely door to door in 1.
Rows of 2 power into turn at number 1. Bubba Wallace and Ross Chastain streak away from the rest of the pack by a couple car lengths. Chris Buescher and Kyle Busch going side by side for second, but Bubba Wallace, your race leader.
Ross Chastain going to tuck in behind him. We'll see if he tries to get to the bottom of the racetrack first. Meanwhile, a side-by-side battle for third, a side-by-side battle for fifth. It's Buescher and Busch battling for third off of turn number 4.
Quickly, Bubba has a 4-car length lead over Chastain. The battle is for third. It's Chris Buescher to the inside. Kyle Busch challenging on the outside. Kyle Larson's in there too.
Larson got right up on the back bumper of Chris Buescher, but there was nowhere to go. We had to check out and get out of the throttle. Now it's Kyle Busch jumping out of the throttle. He's going to lose the 4th spot as Larson streaks to the inside.
His car really got out of sorts in the high side. He hasn't gathered it back in yet. Finally tucks back in behind Kyle Larson. But now Denny Hamlin trying to freight train into the high side into turn number 4.
Denny Hamlin with a big run. He squeezes up against the wall, tries to go around Kyle Busch. He does. Busch now will have to contend with Tyler Reddick.
Boy, Mark Arrow, that was a power move by Denny Hamlin around the outside. And I'm not sure Kyle Busch isn't done losing spots. Here comes Tyler Reddick, the winner here a year ago. He's pulled even down the backstretch.
Reddick looks awfully strong at the midway point of the back straightaway. Busch is going to have to settle for losing another spot. But again, his car was stronger at the end of a very long run. We'll see if that holds true this time. He told me so because now Keselowski starts to draw a beat over near the start-finish line.
Bubba continues to lead. Let's go down to Wendy.
He said, I don't know now. Okay, Kyle Busch just came over the radio, guys, and said, I don't know now. He thought he had a flat tire. The crew hopped up. Everyone has their equipment in hand. They're listening. They said the same thing happened to the 7 yesterday when he got up high, too high yesterday. They're telling him, just give it time. Randall Burnett's trying to talk him down right now. Just calm down, give it time, let the car settle back down. But Kyle Busch is very unsure what's happening in the race car right now.
He is currently running in the 7th position, about 2 car lengths off Tyler Reddick and about 3 car lengths ahead of William Byron. It looks like, Doug, he's settled back in.
Yeah, he lost his momentum there for about 2 laps, and Busch is now settled in to about the 7th place on the chart. Tell you, guy that's settled in is the guy that's leading this race, Mark. He's been there pretty much throughout the entire event as Bubba Wallace comes across the start-finish line. At this point, Bubba has led 55, 56 laps. Ty Dillon during that exchange of pit stops led 3. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, and Ross Chastain have all led 1. But it's pretty much been the Bubba Wallace parade here for the first 63 laps.
Doug, he's been rock solid. His pit crew at this point, they've gotten him on and off pit road as well. So Bubba Wallace making a serious threat What was the Bible verse that you gave us to start the pre-race show?
The first shall be last, and the last will be first.
And Bubba Wallace came in ranked 12th out of the 12 playoff drivers.
That's the last part of it. The first part was that he won the pole. The big thing about winning the pole here at any of these mile-and-a-half racetracks is that number one pit stall. That's worth 5 spots every time you have to come in and pit, and that's the gift that keeps giving.
Bubba Wallace, at this point, coming into this race, had led 162 laps this season. He led 80 at Richmond. Could top that today as he crosses the stripe. 58 laps led now for one, Bubba Wallace, as he continues to lead Ross Chastain by a half second.
Where is the bride?
Hello?
Honey, where are you? I'm at the altar.
Oh, hey. I'm fueling up at Sunoco.
Sunoco? Your dad's waiting to walk you down the aisle.
I'm earning rewards as fast as I can.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save. So drop what you're doing, because rewards come first.
Oh, gotta go. I'll text you.
Download the Sunoco app. Sunoco, fuel your best.
Terms and conditions apply.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Your countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator. You kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Bubba Wallace continues to lead. He's pulled out to a 0.6 of a second advantage over Ross Chastain. From Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
NASCAR returns to North Wilkesboro Speedway Saturday, September 30th for the Brushy Mountain Power Sports 150, featuring the ground founders of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. Bobby Labonte and Ryan Newman are scheduled to race these sleek retro rockets against tour stars like Ron Silk and Bunny Matt Hirschman. If you wanted more at North Wilkesboro Speedway, come get it. Saturday, September 30th. Tickets available at northwilkesborospeedway.com.
Bubba Wallace is creeping away from Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain is creeping away from third place Chris Buescher. The last 2 laps, Wallace and Chastain 1-2 on the speed chart.
And you got to think Bubba Wallace is thinking, I need to lead this for at least 10 more laps. I need to be the leader when we get to the end of stage 1. It would be the first playoff point he has collected this season.
I'm going to say, Doug, it would be his first stage win, and he'd become the 19th different stage winner here in 2023 if he holds on. 9 laps to go. He's back in 1.
He leads them into turn number 1. The advantage is about 4 or 5 car lengths over Ross Chastain. Then it's Chris Buescher. Kyle Larson runs in 4th. And Denny Hamlin runs in 5th as Hamlin uses that high groove.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin is starting to draw a bead a bit on Kyle Larson. He's trying to tow Tyler Reddick along with him. That battle between Larson and company, Denny Hamlin pulls within about 2 car lengths now at the exit of turn number 4.
That's a pretty good battle right there. Larson is 4th, Denny Hamlin 5th. Hanging on into that 6th spot right now is Tyler Reddick.
They'll make their way into turn number 1. Reddick hanging tough with both of those drivers, watching them search around the racetrack. Now Reddick goes to the top side of the racetrack. That's 4th, 5th, and 6th. Larson, Hamlin, and Reddick.
Larson and Hamlin now, the closer of the 2. Reddick trying to keep pace. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. They're running about the middle crew of the racetrack before they head to the bottom now through the double dog leg.
Behind them, Byron has cleared the Kyle Busch machine, moved him up to 7th. Busch now getting some pressure from Brad Keselowski and Eric Jones.
Yeah, Kyle Busch is kind of settled in and rode in front of, now he's spun right on cue. Kyle Busch spins up the racetrack the outside retaining wall. That car now drifts to the middle of the racetrack. He'll knock it down, but it was a big hit for Kyle Busch right on cue. We had talked about those issues. His day is done with a hard trip against the turn 1 and 2 safer barrier.
We heard Wendy Venturini report earlier that Kyle Busch was not happy with his race car, didn't know exactly what was going on with it, and that car is all used up now. Let's go down to Wendy Venturini.
Kyle Busch is okay. Randall Burnett just radioed to him, but for the last 2 laps, Kyle Busch has been asking to come down pit road. They were trying to hold him off to wait for the caution. They were giving him the countdown, 14 more laps, 13 more laps. They were trying to get some more lap times. Kyle Busch reported that that tire just felt flat. It had a right front chatter. It didn't feel good. And now you see Kyle Busch. He's very frustrated. I can understand. He knew, he felt this was coming. But he is currently driving his car backwards on the racetrack.
Yeah, he's going all the way from turn 2. He is going to drive the car, it looks like, backwards all the way around the racetrack, and it is heavily damaged. I don't see how, Doug, that car could be repaired to make the minimum speed, and if he is knocked out of this race, that would be DNF number 6 this season for Kyle Busch.
And that's a big hit here in the playoff chase, Mark. I mean, he was not in such a situation that he had such a fat opportunity as far as points were concerned that he could really afford this kind of mishap. So tough break there for Kyle Busch. That car is all used up, and he's still going backwards the wrong way around the racetrack.
He has made his way through turn 3, now turn 4, about to hit pit road, and again, completely backwards. They have the cameras now in those cars, so he may have a pretty good view of this. As you mentioned, Doug, not much room to breathe for Kyle Busch. Was only +8 above the cut line coming into this race. And right now, as he eases his way down pit road backwards, let's go to Wendy Venturini.
And if that's not a statement, I don't know what is. Kyle Busch has backed his car all the way off the racetrack. He just went over the line. The official said, pull it forward. Randall Burnett is just telling him to get the left rear tire off of it. Kyle Busch currently pitted backwards in his pit stall. Extensive damage on the left rear of this car. They do have to jack it up. We're going to see how detrimental they have the Sawzall now. So they're going to be cutting some of that car. They just instructed Kyle Busch to turn off the engine. No words from Kyle Busch at this point, so you can imagine the frustration he feels.
That means he is super hot, Kyle Busch. And again, that's one of those things, Doug, when he felt something going wrong, and sometimes you have to swallow a bitter pill early. Just get the car on the pit road, get it straightened out. Even if you lose a lap or 2, you still have a chance to fight your way back, and that car is really damaged.
And the other thing that happened there, we've seen 2 other incidents today. As the car spun, it hit driver's side. Fortunately, here in Texas, like we do at all NASCAR Cup tracks, you do have these safer barriers, and they absorb a lot of that energy. But for Kyle Busch, as we've got a good look at that race car down on the track, I'm going to be amazed if they're able to piece that thing back together and put it back on the racetrack. We've got cars coming on the pit road, Wendy.
Yes, Kyle Larson's going to be one of those cars. I'm positioned down by Kyle Busch, but in the very first pit stall into pit road is Kyle Larson that is going to elect to pit. Kevin Harvick is going to come down pit road for tires. Brad Keselowski also deciding to pit for 4 tires and fuel. Brad Gilly.
Ross Chastain, the great debate, possibly give up stage points, come into pit there on pit road right now. It's going to be a 4-tire change. He'll top him off with Stoko. Also coming in on my end of pit road, Daniel Suarez, Brett McMillan.
Bubba Wallace comes in. Whoa! Denny Hamlin on the way out. He gets together. I couldn't tell who it was with as he was exiting the pit road. They got together on the right side of his car after a 4-tire change. I'm not sure who it was Denny Hamlin collided with as he was leaving pit road. He came back to the left. I think he missed Bubba Wallace. I think Bubba Wallace had already left at that point.
I think it might have been Brad Keselowski, but with a 2-tire stop, Martin Truex Jr. will lead them off the pit lane. Meanwhile, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars stayed out, led by Chris Buescher. And I believe that second car in line is going to be the 45 car of Tyler Reddick.
And we're watching the replay now, Mark, and I think you may be right there as Denny Hamlin got together with the car on pit road on the exit. Actually, it was Ty Gibbs that got into. So Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin, Gibbs' teammates, trading a little paint on the pit road here. It's going to be a wild restart if they get this race restarted here with all kinds of different strategies. Guys that stayed out, got no tires, people that took 2 and others that took 4.
And there will be maybe a lap or 2 before we get to the end of stage number 1. We see some damage now to the left front of Ty Gibbs's car. The splitter and the bumper and the fender all have damage as he comes back onto the pit lane, blowing down to the 45-mile-per-hour speed limit, heading for his pit area, his pit box. As they continue to work on the Kyle Busch machine, his car continues to face the wrong way. Let's go down to Brett McMillan.
Yeah, Ty Gibbs has come back into his pit stall, and the crew is taking a look at it, and they are talking about, as you talked about, Mark, damage to the splitter. One of the guys has pointed to the splitter. There's some damage on the left front. They're taking a look at that. I can see where it's cut, where there is a broken part on the left front fender, right where it meets the splitter. They're looking up under the left front wheel well at this point in time, doing some work there. So they're assessing the damage at this point in time. Most of it appears to be on the left front, in front of the left front tire. And, well, they said something's broken, and they said they can't repair it. I didn't hear exactly what it was. Wendy.
Well, the Sawzall are still flying around here in Kyle Busch's pit, where he is currently still pit backwards and facing the opposite way that he normally would be on pit road. The crew is working on the left rear of the race car, the Sawzall, the hammers, the jacks, trying to clear away the debris away from that race car. It was really interesting because Zane Smith came down pit road and was nose to nose with Kyle Busch. If that's not confusing for a driver when you pit your car, he then had to back up in order to get around Kyle Busch. So the 8 team working quickly, but Kyle Busch, not a single word on the radio right now.
And time is running out. They are on the damaged vehicle protocol. They're on the clock, and right now, time could be running out. We're about to get the 1-to-go signal here in stage number 1, and that is going to leave us 1 lap. A 1-lap sprint to the end of stage 1 of this Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Chris Buescher has stayed out. Buescher goes inside row 1, outside Reddick, inside row 2, Byron, outside Christopher Bell, then outside of row 2, Michael McDowell will choose that. And I'm not sure, it looks like Chase Elliott will go to the inside of McDowell in that 3rd row. And the other cars who stayed out, Chase Briscoe, Ryan Blaney, before we get to Martin Truex Jr., who made a 2-tire stop, he will get 9th across the line with Bubba Wallace.
This is going to be an insane dash for the last lap here of stage 1. And Mark, you saw all those guys we were talking about, Bubba Wallace and Ross Chastain, trying to collect some points. Well, they pitted. 9 cars, as you pointed out, did not pit, or rather 8 cars did not pit, so they'll stay out, and they're just hoping to get 1 lap in and then come in and make their pit stops. The first car that did pit, he took on 2 tires, was Martin Truex Jr. He's back in 9th. So Mark James are going to shake him up here for the restart, and it's going to be a wild 1.5 miles around Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, the front has a bit of a different look to it, with Chris Buescher to the inside, Tyler Reddick to the high side, as Yeoman noted earlier. Tyler Reddick, no surprise to see him running up front at this point of the race, considering he was a winner here a year ago. As you mentioned, lights are off of the pace car as they work their way through turn number 4. Pace car will roll to pit road, and they're about to enter the Geico restart zone.
Thanks a lot, Mark James. By the way, Ty Gibbs out of the event as a result of a crash on pit road. Broken steering arm. Ty Gibbs has retired to the garage.
Under 30 seconds left for Kyle Busch on the damaged vehicle clock. Meanwhile, the green flag is out for a 1-lap sprint. On the outside, Tyler Reddick with a slight advantage over Chris Buescher.
Top 4 are all playoff drivers. They want that stage win, but it's going to be Tyler Reddick, shot out of a cannon on the restart. He's got the race lead out of turn 2.
He does have the race lead at the halfway point of the back straightaway, and he got a really strong run to the high side. Meanwhile, Buescher comes storming back to the bottom of the racetrack. He wants to grab that 2nd spot. We'll see if he's able to do it. Christopher Bell tries to storm back on after 2nd. Back in behind him as they head to the start-finish line.
And that'll be lap 80, stage 1 in the books. Tyler Reddick takes the green and white checkered flag. Chris Buescher in 2nd.
Oh, trouble turn 1, guys, right as everybody checked up. Martin Truex Jr. got tagged from behind. He slides up the racetrack, hasn't hit anyone or anything. That was miraculous because he was restarting in the top 10. Rest of the field scattered left and right, and I think Martin Truex Jr. just got away with one, guys, down here in turn 1.
Cost him a lot of track position, but no harm, no foul. Christopher Bell was 3rd, William Byron 4th. The rest of the guys in the top 10, Michael McDowell, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin, and Bubba Wallace.
Our stage 1 break is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. So when you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it, because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
Hi, this is Daniel Suarez here. During this stage break, take a minute to grab a nice cold Coca-Cola, but be sure to stick around. The race is just heating up.
Bundling and saving with Geico is an easy choice, so you're free to ponder life's big questions, like what's the best animal in the world if not humans? I'd strongly consider ducks to be somewhere up there on the list. Think about it. Ducks can swim, ducks can fly, and ducks can walk on land. They have access to all terrains. They are the ultimate animal. And they wiggle their butts when they walk, which is funny. Yeah, ducks are awesome. End of story. Bundling and saving with Geico. It's an easy choice.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles. Time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not all the combo single item at regular price.
And welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. Martin Truex Jr. as we finish stage 1. We went spinning in turn 1. Now he's just come down pit road. They've changed the right side tires. They were down. They had to do a little bit of work to get those off and replaced. He said he was dragging pretty much everything as he came down pit road. They went ahead and just did change right side tires so they could take a look and see what exactly was dragging once they put fresh tires on there. He's headed back out. They're going to reevaluate and tell exactly what the damage is, and then they will bring him back down.
Tyler Reddick, in the meantime, has won his 5th stage in 2023. You're listening to PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hey there, it's Kathy Martindale and Paul Shad on C-Max Racing Country Classic.
And we're back. Come on to Nashville. It's Kathy and Big Skill.
Who do you find it hardest to keep up with, musicianship-wise?
I just feel like an adequate guitar player compared to some of the people that I just love and admire and really think are spectacular. The majority of the people that I learned to play the instrument from are still around.
C-Max Racing Country Classic.
I've been driving trucks for a long time. Safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
We're back to Texas Motor Speedway. Back down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brad Gilliam.
Literally 2 cars on pit road right now, both in my section. Christopher Bell, they were happy to get some stage points by finishing 3rd there. Adam Stevens gave him 4 tires, freed his car up a little bit because he feels that's what they're going to need deep in the field. William Byron also came in, 4 tires in Sunoco. They actually came in after Bell, got out before Bell.
They went down pit road side by side, and then at the very end, Byron inches ahead of Bell's car at the pit lane, and they'll fall in now at the back of the pack.
Some days you have all 36 cars that start the race running at the end of the race. They may be laps down. That's not going to be the case today. We already have 4 retirees here just at the end of stage 1. Todd Gilliland, he started 36th. He's out. Austin Dillon lost a wheel. He started 13th. He is exited. Kyle Busch started 7th. He crashed down in turn 1. And Ty Gibbs had a crash on pit road with his own teammate, Denny Hamlin. He is out. So 4 drivers out. One of them a playoff contender in Kyle Busch.
We had 7 DNFs a year ago. We're over halfway there. We just ended stage 1. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway here on PRN. We're under our 5th yellow of the day. This is the caution break for stage 1. Let's check in with Wendy Venturini.
Tyler Reddick with that stage win right there. You would think maybe they'd come down pit road since they if you will, with all the cautions. They feel like they're going to have an early caution coming up again, so they're going to roll the dice and stay out here, lead some more laps, and then maybe get an early caution, come down pit road the next time for Tyler Reddick.
Thanks a lot, Wendy Venturini. Stage 2 is coming up. It is brought to you on PRN by eBay. Burn rubber, not cash, by shopping at eBay Motors. ebaymotors.com. And the field is just about set for a restart. Maybe 1.5 lap. It'll be 1 lap to go when they come back around. So let's give you the rundown here as we've completed 84 laps, 183 remain. Tyler Reddick is the leader. Chris Buescher is second. Third to Michael McDowell. Chase Elliott up to fourth. Ryan Blaney is fifth. Chase Briscoe is sixth. Denny Hamlin seventh. Bubba Wallace eighth. Ninth to Kyle Larson. And 10th is Ross Chastain.
Brad Keselowski's 11th. 12th, Eric Jones. Ryan Preece up to 13th. Then 14th, it's Justin Haley. Daniel Suarez 15th. 16th, A.J. Allmendinger. Joey Logano 17th. 18th, Kevin Harvick. Then Harrison Burton 19th. 20th, Carson Hocevar.
Corey LaJoie rides 21st. 22nd is Ty Dillon. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is 23rd. 24th, Alex Bowman. Austin Cindric 25th. Eric Almirola 26th. 27th, Zane Smith. J.J. Yaley 28th. 29th, William Byron. B.J. McLeod rides 30th.
31st is Christopher Bell. And 32nd, the last car out there on the lead lap and the last car, Martin Truex Jr. The next 4 drivers are out. Getting credit today for 33rd, Ty Gibbs. Kyle Busch 34th, 35th, Todd Gilliland, and 36th, Austin Dillon.
Bring home the cup with eBay Guaranteed Fit brakes and headlights and all the parts to fit your vehicle the first time, every time. eBay Motors, ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. We do know this, when it's all wrapped up here today, Kyle Busch will be below the cut line, probably pretty substantially, and he's going to have to make up some ground at Talladega and the Roval.
But, oh, by the way, earlier this year, the winner at Talladega, Kyle Busch.
Now, he's won a lot of places. Mark James, it looks like we're about ready to get back to business here.
And the fastest car of the day is 4 rows back. We're going to keep our eye on Bubba Wallace for sure. Meanwhile, the front 2 start to work their way off of turn number 4. Tyler Reddick, Chris Buescher with the field in tow. Pace car is off, and they're headed to the Geico restart zone.
Got a lot of mixed strategies out here. Teams that did not make pit stops, 2 tires versus 4 tires. We'll see how all of this plays out here in the long run. As the field gets the green flag, and we're back racing again. Down on the inside, it's Tyler Reddick. Flank to his right side, that looks like Chris Buescher.
It is Chris Buescher, and Buescher's going to have to fend off the challenge by Michael McDowell, the winner in Indianapolis, who has cycled his way into 3rd. He won 2nd, has a strong run out of turn 2. He'll nose ahead of Buescher down the backstretch.
Normally, you don't see that kind of momentum for the bottom side of turn number 2, but he made it work, and Chase Elliott trying to give chase as well. The car's starting to stack up behind him. Meanwhile, Tyler Reddick set sail for turn 4.
Chase Elliott has the 4th spot, but muscling up on the outside, Chase Briscoe, door-to-door with Ryan Blaney for 5th.
Yeah, that was an impressive move by Briscoe. He looked like he put it up on the cushion and passed 3 or 4 cars through turns 3 and 4. Right now, he's glued together with Ryan Blaney as they exit turn number 2.
Blaney is to the bottom side, Briscoe to the high side. They're staying side by side. This is the battle for the 5th position. Denny Hamlin, the interested spectator, he currently rides along just behind him. And Bubba Wallace set sail for that group 2 off of turn 4.
Ryan Blaney drifts up the speedway a little bit and tries to squeeze Briscoe out of the way. Briscoe doesn't give up an inch, though.
And right behind those 2 are 2 of the fastest cars on the racetrack, and Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace, and they want to get past. In fact, they may go side by side. Bubba Wallace to the inside behind Hamlin as they run behind Blaney and the 14 machine.
Bubba Wallace starting to lose a little momentum as Kyle Larson goes to his high side. Meanwhile, that battle continues between Blaney and Briscoe. It's off of turn number 4.
Briscoe now on the outside, inches ahead, but Blaney drives right back to his driver's door with Hamlin in hot pursuit.
That is indeed Chase Briscoe. He's going to lose the spot to Ryan Blaney. May lose another one to Denny Hamlin. They are door handle to door handle. Hamlin got a little loose at the exit of turn number 2. They're still side by side.
So Blaney has the 5th spot. So we'll say now this battle is for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Kyle Larson loses a little momentum. Denny Hamlin has all kinds of momentum to the bottom of the racetrack. He's trying to clear Briscoe on the turn 4.
Earlier today, when Bubba Wallace was leading, he was untouchable. He's back in that dirty air now, and his car not reacting just exactly right. Blaney, or rather Hamlin, now dives to the inside of Briscoe.
Yeah, he'll pull off that pass around Chase Briscoe. Briscoe immediately takes that car to the bottom line to try to fend off Kyle Larson Ross Chastain, and then Bubba Wallace down the backstretch.
Separation among the front four. Blaney has a breathing room now. Denny Hamlin getting a bit more comfortable. It's a couple of cars back to Bubba Wallace where things start to get interesting as he's chasing down Ross Chastain.
Kyle Larson now drives underneath Chase Briscoe. Now you move him up to the 6th position as they charge back to turn 1.
Yeah, it looked like Briscoe had a bit of a moment there entering turn number 3, and that car washed way up the racetrack. That opened the door for Kyle Larson as Larson now starts the charge toward Denny Hamlin in 5th.
From 5th on back, it gets interesting. That's where Chase Briscoe rides. Then it's Denny Hamlin. Then it's Kyle Larson. Now Chase Briscoe is starting to have his own set of concerns as Ross Chastain gets a good run off of turn 4.
Briscoe slides back down through the front stretch here across the start-finish line. He is in 8th. Chastain, though, trying to charge from 9th. Bubba Wallace is camped out in 10th, Nick.
Yeah, Ross Chastain pretty aggressive on the restart. Got around Bubba Wallace about 2 laps in. Now he'll set his sights on Chase Briscoe in that bright blue car down the back straightaway.
20 degrees of banking at the other end, 24 here. Chase Briscoe trying to use that banking to his advantage to get a little momentum upon exit. Ross Chastain running a half a crew Lord goes up under Declan now at the exit of 4.
Tyler Reddick pulling away 1.4 seconds over Michael McDowell, but McDowell looks very comfortable running in that number 2 spot.
Yeah, Garrow, in fact, the top 4 all look very comfortable. Reddick, McDowell, Busher, and then Chase Elliott. Then the battle for 5th. Throw a blanket over 3 cars marked James. Ryan Blaney leading Hamlin and Larson.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin gets a nice run at the entrance to turn number 3. Kyle Larson trying to keep pace with that. Nice battle. 3-car battle off of turn number 4.
Blaney leads that battle coming out of turn 4. Hamlin 2 car lengths back. Hamlin now being challenged by Kyle Larson. Larson tries to peek to the inside.
Yeah, he got a good run out of turn number 4. Is it a strong enough run to get to the inside? It is. They'll go side by side exiting turn number 2. Denny Hamlin, though, has the momentum built up at a 2.
Kyle Larson trying to get the momentum back. He can't do it just yet. He might get to the bottom side first. If he does, that's where he's going to try to make the pass. The car washes up a little bit as Blaney starts to pull away off of turn number 4.
Good battle for 8th. Briscoe has it. Chastain is barking on his back bumper. Right behind him, Wallace, Eric Jones, and trying to close in, Ryan Preece.
Boy, Ross Chastain got blocked by Chase Briscoe right at the exit of the dog leg, then caught to the outside to try to find a little momentum around. Not able to do it. He'll chase Briscoe down the backstretch.
And he will have to chase it even more at the setup of turn number 3. Meanwhile, it looks like Ryan Blaney is under assault again from Denny Hamlin once again. Hamlin has it close to the bottom of the racetrack on turn number 4.
Let's fight for 5th. Denny Hamlin noses his Toyota under the Ford of Blaney. About a half a car length ahead as they go down to the 1.
Yeah, pretty impressive how quickly Denny Hamlin went from the one being attacked by Kyle Larson to doing the attacking. He'll get around Ryan Blaney, trying to bring Kyle Larson with him out of turn 2.
They're side by side off of turn number 2, talking about Blaney and Larson. Larson says enough is enough, and he'll grab that spot. Now you'll see that separation start a bit all the way back to Blaney from the very front.
Blaney goes from 5th to 7th as we move Hamlin into that number 5 spot. Then, of course, Larson, Blaney. Now Briscoe still having trouble with Ross Chastain. Chastain takes a peek inside in 1.
Yeah, Briscoe is making it extremely tough for Ross Chastain as he is moving anywhere Ross wants to go. Ross got a good charge out of turn 1. Mark, he'll pull off that pass down the back straightaway.
Yeah, we can see down through that double dog leg, and he didn't quite get that blocked into the extent that he wanted to, which opened the door for Ross Chastain. Now Briscoe's in danger of losing his spot to Bubba Wallace. Eric Jones looks strong too on turn number 4.
Yeah, it's getting a little busy back there here for Chase Briscoe. Bubba Wallace and Eric Jones are in hot pursuit, and they're back there battling right now for the 10th spot.
Yeah, that is 9th, 10th, and 11th. This, boy, all the way to the top of the racetrack goes Eric Jones trying to use a little momentum as he and Bubba Wallace both try to run down Chase Briscoe.
Eric Jones gets a nice run off of turn number 2. We'll see if he's able to get to the white line to the bottom of the racetrack. Can't do it. So it's Briscoe going to lead Bubba Wallace and Eric Jones through turn number 4.
So again, if you just joined us, we're in the 2nd stage of the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400 here at Texas Motor Speedway. Tyler Reddick won stage 1. He has now led 21 laps and counting. Bubba Wallace, the pole sitter, dominated the opening stage, didn't win it, but he led 69 laps.
And we've seen it play out again, and I know we're singing the same verse over and over, but you get in the lead, you get the clean air, and your car looks so much different. You look like Superman. You get back in that dirty air where Bubba Wallace is now, and all of a sudden, the S is starting to peel off your chest a little bit, and you don't have superpowers, and it's just such a big equalizer right now, and I think we're seeing that played out from about 6th on back.
Bubba Wallace, though, still a very strong race car, but his teammate, Tyler Reddick, out front and gone. I mean, at this point, he is now leading by better than 2.5 seconds over Michael McDowell. Reddick knows how to win here. He's done it before, trying to do it again. Let's go down to the care center with Wendy Venturini.
Kyle Busch out of the care center. Kyle, you requested to come to pit road knowing you felt something. You were asked to wait. How frustrating is that for you, and how do you handle it moving forward?
Well, I felt something wrong in the right front after that restarting on the top. It felt like it was flat. It was vibrating, shaking a little bit, but I made the call to stay out. And then 2 laps later, I was just running the bottom, and it swapped ends on me with the back of the car, so it's no, I don't know. I'm lost for words. I don't really even know what to think, but I hate it for all my 3C guys, everybody at RCR and Team Chevy. Just sad to see it end like this. I'm at a loss for words. I just don't get it.
All right, that's Kyle Busch, clearly frustrated here at Texas.
All right, thanks a lot. Great work there from Wendy Venturini. And Kyle Busch out of the running today. He will be credited with a 34th place finish as we're watching it unfold here at Texas Motor Speedway. 62 laps to go here in stage 2.
Protect your engine against sludge and wear with a synthetic oil change. O'Reilly Auto Parts has 5 parts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $35.95. Plus, get a $5 O reward to use on a future purchase. Our professional parts people can also recommend all the supplies you need for your next oil change. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Home. It's where the heart is. Home is where we keep our most precious memories. Home is where the party starts early and ends with a bang. Home is where the kids play, and the big kids too. Home is where you let loose with a pre-race concert featuring Riley Green.
Bring it home!
The Bank of America Roval 400, Sunday, October 8th. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com. Welcome home.
The Xfinity fastest lap to this point goes to Bubba Wallace, 184.281 miles per hour. It happened on lap number 2. Xfinity introducing the next generation of 10G network, only from Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR. Again, our leader is Tyler Reddick by 3.1 seconds over Michael McDowell. Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson round out the top 5. You're listening to PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Time to pull down on that handle and start rolling them here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
The green flag flies at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
We're about to contest the Coca-Cola 600.
We're racing at Texas Motor Speedway.
Now Keselowski goes way up the racetrack.
Here goes Harrison Burton. He rockets to the lead.
Trouble. Car goes around. It's Chris Buescher.
Joe Logano battles to the outside. They come back to the start-finish line.
Bubba Wallace looks inside, and now here's Byron. Takes a quick left to block him. They head back to 1.
Here goes Ross Chastain. He's going to the bottom of the racetrack.
Bubba goes up. Blaney hits the outside wall off of turn 2.
Can Christopher Bell do anything with him? He gets down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Briscoe dives to the bottom of the racetrack, side by side. They get loose. They spin. Now Tyler Reddick does the 360. So does Briscoe.
Heading into turn number 7 as he wraps it around. The crowd is cheering for Daniel Suarez here on this final lap.
Allmendinger gets into Alex Bowman. Ross Chastain back out to the front for the final time.
This is PRN.
Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway, working lap number 108. Stage 2 ends at lap 165. Ryan Blaney currently running in the 7th spot. They got there due to pit strategy. His car is not running great, however. He just radioed in and told his crew chief, Jonathan Hassler, they are still way too loose coming off the corner. Very tight in the center. In fact, he says he's chattering the front tires. And right now, Ryan Blaney under attack from both Ross Chastain and Eric Jones.
Good update there from Brad Gilly. Another driver that used a little strategery to gain some track position. Chase Elliott, Mark, once they bought that track position with some work on pit road, he's been at 6 and has been locked in there.
He certainly has, Doug, and he had a very poor qualifying effort. Chase Elliott started this race, I believe,
Problems off of
29.
turn 2, which we got a car spinning down the backstretch. That's going to bring out the yellow flag once again here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Corey LaJoie Corey LaJoy brings out this yellow flag.
So that'll be caution flag number 6 today here at TMS.
Hey racing fans, William Byron here, driver of the number 24 Liberty University Chevy. Did you know that Liberty is not only my sponsor, but also my school? I'm getting a world-class education, and you can too. Whether you study at Liberty's beautiful campus in Virginia, with state-of-the-art facilities, NCAA Division I athletics, or with the convenience of LU's 600-plus online programs, Liberty University has the fit that's right for you. Learn more at liberty.edu/24. Again, that's liberty.edu/24.
Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's stands tall in our unwavering commitment to honoring our heroes. We extend our gratitude beyond words by proudly offering a legendary salute discount to those who protect our freedoms. Our dedication to those who selflessly serve us runs deep within our DNA. It's not just a
He tried to get it back to pit road. It shredded and then shredded his right rear fender. When they come back to green, of course, they'll be going into the Geico restart zone. And did you know that you could switch to Geico today and see all the ways you could save? It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save. You're listening to PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
I didn't hate the natural races playing out. I didn't hate a race that was 2 hours and 15 minutes for a change. I didn't hate that the best car at those 2 races won. We're not going to see a barn burner every single time we race.
Unfortunately, every race is just unpredictable. Some are going to have more cautions than others, whether you have restarts or not. I do, though, like the reset and having a pause point at the end of each stage.
The O'Reilly Auto Parts Pit Reporters on the Performance Racing Network.
home. It's where the heart is. Home is where we keep our most precious memories. Home is where the party starts early and ends with a bang. Home is where the kids play, and the big kids too. Home is where you let loose with a pre-race concert featuring Riley Green. Bring it home! The Bank of America Roval 400, Sunday, October 8th. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com. Welcome home.
The yellow flag is waved 6 times today. The most recent one for Corey LaJoy as he rolls down the pit road. And Mark, it looks like a lot of the right rear wheel well is missing off the number 7 Bainbridge car.
What wasn't tore off, they cut off to clear that tire. Corey coming back out onto the track.
So it's going to be a long day here for Corey LaJoy as he has an extended stop on the pit lane. Tyler Reddick had pulled out to about a 3.5-second lead before this most recent yellow came out. And it was a pretty good run. It was a 25-lap run.
And his car looked very, very good out front. Right now, let's go down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brad Gilly.
Guys, this cycle should be pretty interesting because there are options. Number one, they're going to be able to make it to the end of this stage on Sunoco fuel if they pit right here. But we might have some 2 and 4 tire stops. Listening to Ryan Blaney and Jonathan Hassler, Ryan Blaney says his car is still tight on throttle, but the entry's better. They might go with the 2 tire stop. Their code word is actually yellow for this one. The reason being, too, Ryan Blaney just said, hey, I really think this track is starting to widen out. I don't think 2 tires are going to be too big of a detriment.
All right, that's Brad Gilly. He's joined on pit road today by Wendy Venturini and Brett McMillan. And our pit reporters are brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. Looking down on pit road and pit stall number 27. Mark, they are disassembling the War Wagon for Kyle Busch. Here's one of the 4 cars that is out today, and they'll try to get as much done as they can and probably be on their way back to North Carolina before this race ends.
Doug, they came in +8 above the cut line, Kyle Busch and that RCR team. Right now they're being scored 12th, all the way at the bottom, -21.
It's a big hit, and he's going to have to make up some ground. As you said, he has won at Talladega. He knows how to get it done there. He's a pretty good road course racer, but you're having to fight uphill. You have now officially used your mulligan for this round of 3.
One thing about it, as far as strategy, next 2 races, you got to go for it, right? You just throw everything at it that you can. You don't have to worry about points, anything like that. You can just simply go for it. And again, pit road closed as some safety vehicles are coming across the pit lane to clear off some of the track. NASCAR has an Elgin sweeper at the top of the track, clearing off some of those rubber marbles, those little flecks and little bubbles of round rubber that kind of go up the racetrack as the tires wear. So they're clearing that off, so the track will be a little bit racier maybe on the outside.
And the field's still single file here behind the pace car. It's going to be a couple of laps here before they turn them loose. I think we can give you a full field rundown now as they come by scoring and timing a couple of times. Tyler Reddick is the race leader. Denny Hamlin second. Third to Kyle Larson. Michael McDowell is fourth. Fifth belongs to Chris Buescher. Chase Elliott is sixth. Seventh, Ryan Blaney. Ross Chastain, eighth. It is Eric Jones, ninth. And 10th is Bubba Wallace.
11th is Ryan Preece. Brad Keselowski, 12th. Daniel Suarez, 13th. And Chase Briscoe, 14th. 15th, A.J. Allmendinger. Carson Hocevar continuing to hang tough in the top 20 and 16th. Kevin Harvick has worked his way back to 17th. Alex Bowman, 18th. 19th, Justin Haley. 20th, Ty Dillon.
21st, Joey Logano. 22nd is Truex Jr. William Byron is 23rd. 24th is Eric Almirola. Christopher Bell, 25th. 26th is Stenhouse Jr. Zane Smith is 27th. Harrison Burton, 28th. 29th, J.J. Yaley and Austin Cindric is 30th.
31st is B.J. McLeod. 32nd, Corey LaJoie, minus 2 laps. These cars are out. Ty Gibbs will get 33rd, 34th, Kyle Busch, 35th, Todd Gilliland, and 36th today, Austin Dillon.
Rundown brought to you by Bass Pro Shops, and Cabela's, voted America's best outdoor retailer, is proud to stand alongside hunters, anglers, and leading conservation organizations to help ensure a bright future for our sporting heritage. Pit Road is open, about to get very busy. Let's check in with Wendy.
Tyler Reddick getting up that lead. Did not hit pit road that first time. It's going to be 4 tires. It looks like a tire might have gotten caught. 4 tires. They are going to wait on the fuel here, wait on the gas. Also down pit road, Kyle Larson took 4 tires. Tight in 3 and 4 for Kyle Larson. Brett Gilly.
Ryan Blaney was a 2-tire call. They had a lightning fast pit stop. Ross Chastain had to drive in around him. He got 4 tires in Sunoco race fuel. 4 tires for William Byron as well. Brett McMillan.
Denny Hamlin said the car was, the balance was wonky, is what he called it. So they're giving him an air pressure adjustment, trying to help him get back on track. Bubba Wallace also went and got a 4-tire change, as did Michael McDowell and Chris Buescher as well.
So as they come off the pit lane, it looks like it is going to be Ryan Blaney leading them off, then Bubba Wallace. Then I believe it's going to be Brad Keselowski and Daniel Suarez. We'll get the rundown for you here in a moment when they pass by the start-finish line. But again, if you just joined us here at Texas, we're in stage 2 of the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Bubba Wallace has led the most laps to this point, 69. Tyler Reddick has led 36. Again, the big news, playoff contender Kyle Busch has crashed out. He is going to go from going from the top 8 coming into this playoff round 2, race 1 is going to drop down to 12.
Mark, I believe that's easily the biggest impactful story we've had so far in this race, the elimination of Kyle Busch. Back over to Wendy Venturini.
Tyler Reddick left pit road and said, guys, do you see anything? Did it look weird when I left pit road? Because when he dropped the clutch, he said he felt something. There's nothing in the pit stall. However, they did report to him the 14 hose was sticking over and it hit the side of his race car and kind of caused a little bit of a glitch there. So he was feeling the air hose from the car in front of him. Brett McMillan.
Correction on Bubba Wallace. He only did a right side tire change on that stop.
Oh, jeez. Alright, I'm in the mood to talk for a little bit. Not too much though, so I know we're on commercial break and the race is going to be coming back on here in just a minute, but guys, just to everyone in here that has joined, thank you so much for coming in here. Really, it means a lot. Of course, with yesterday being my birthday, and then last night just kind of it didn't go out as planned as I thought it would. But again, for the people that don't know, I went to the Oklahoma City State Fair last night, and we showed up probably at the worst time. About maybe an hour or an hour and a half later, people were running towards me, and I looked behind me, and turns out the State Fair got shot up. I guess someone shot someone in the chest, and yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it. I just saw, I was right outside the building that it happened in, and yeah, it it was just, yeah, I didn't even know how to react. Everyone was screaming, everyone was, yelling and crying, and I looked for my dad, and I'm like, Dad, all right, get the fuck out, go, go, go. Like, we were screaming at each other, telling each other to go this way, and then we luckily, me and my dad and my uncle and his kid, we made it out there safe. So yeah, it was crazy. I went from, waking up, watching my OU football game, to going go-karting with my dad, to then going to the casino, to then going to the state fair, all on my birthday, which then turned into a shit fest because someone just had to shoot somebody there, I guess. Yeah, I don't. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. It really means a lot. Yesterday was my birthday, by the way. And by the way, Raw Gator, if y'all don't know who was it? Was it Raw Gator or Iceberg? It was one of the two. They hit 100,000 subscribers yesterday, so that's pretty cool for them to hit that goal on my birthday. So that's cool. By the way, also it was Ryan Vargas's birthday yesterday. If y'all don't know who Ryan Vargas is, I think he races in NASCAR. I think he races in the Truck Series now. He was in Xfinity for a little while, but yeah, it was his birthday yesterday too. So pretty cool. I got to share that. But anyways, here we go. Green flag.
Already. Meanwhile, Blaney is tucked into that second spot. Plenty of oncomers behind him. Very fast car of the day is Denny Hamlin. He's in the fourth position. He's trying to track down Brad Keselowski.
Bubba just hooked that car to the left, turn 2, and takes off. 6-car length advantage over Ryan Blaney. Then it's Brad Keselowski. The battle is Hamlin and Suarez.
Boy, and Daniel Suarez pulled to the inside, took the air off the nose of Denny Hamlin's car. Hamlin moved up to the middle lane. That's going to open the door for Kyle Larson. Larson noses ahead down the backstretch.
Boy, Larson and Hamlin have been running with
Bubba's back in the lead.
It's been friendly so far. We'll see if it
Bubba.
stays that way. Larson with a hard charge to the bottom of the racetrack.
Bubba's in the lead. What the hell, man?
Dips underneath Denny Hamlin. Behind him, it's a dogfight. Carson Hocevar, Chase Elliott. They banged off each other that last lap, and they're back in one.
Boy, Martin Truex Jr. is looking aggressive. He goes to the inside. Hocevar got really swirly at the entrance of turn number 1. That's going to open up the opportunity for Truex to get by, as well as Chris Buescher.
Yeah, Buescher's going to try to go win it. He's tucked right up underneath him, and now Hocevar's going to tuck back in line, but he's got coming to his high side. That is the car of Eric Jones with a strong run up in turn number 4.
Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin digging to try to pick up a position. Denny Hamlin racing right now side by side with Chase Elliott. That is a fight for 6.
Chase Elliott had to jump out of the throttle as he tried to use the high line to enter turn number 1. That allowed Denny Hamlin to sweep to the inside. Behind those two, Chris Buescher charging back to the front. Mark James as he's side by side with Truex.
Yeah, Truex trying to keep pace, but he can't do it. Now Truex sees company. Eric Jones to his high side. Truex to the bottom, trying to make a stick, but Eric Jones with a hard charge. Meanwhile, here comes Ross Chastain. He wants to take a fight for Hocevar on the turn 4.
Chastain trying to work around the outside of Hocevar as A.J. Allmendinger, Ryan Preece, Alex Bowman close in.
Yeah, this is all happening right around the 10th position. Ross Chastain has his car to the outside. Carson Hocevar to the inside, trying to challenge. That's the battle for 11th out of turn 2.
Wallace, Blaney, Keselowski, the front 3. They have all but checked out. Now we'll check in the battle for 4th. It looks pretty good. Kyle Larson gets run on Daniel Suarez on the turn number 4.
Wallace has a 1-second lead on the field. That battle is for 4th. Daniel Suarez has it. Kyle Larson, he wants it.
Yeah, right before we went yellow, it was Larson and Hamlin who were starting to march their way towards the front of the field. They got the second and third before the yellow came out. Larson's doing it again, Mark. He's got a strong charge at it, too.
Right now, Hamlin taking the wait-and-see approach as he runs behind that, too, so they battle it out. As I say that, he gets a strong run initially into turn 3, but the car washes up, and he loses pace in there.
Just behind them, Ross Chastain turning up the heat on Martin Truex Jr. Truex has the 10th spot, maybe not for long. A peek to the inside from Chastain, now in Truex's tire tracks in 1.
Yeah, they'll go nose to tail entering turn number 1, although Ross Chastain says they try this outside line to try to use the momentum. Truex will hold him off out of turn 2.
Holds him off for now to about a 2-car length advantage, but Ross Chastain usually gets a good run at the entrance to turn number 3. Doesn't look like that's going to happen for him this time. He runs a half a group higher. Eric Jones is going to be trying to keep pace. Carson Hocevar, A.J. Allmendinger all back there.
Chastain riding 11, trying to claw his way into the top 10. A car length behind Martin Truex Jr., 2 car lengths behind Chastain. That is going to be Carson Hocevar. Savard.
Up front, it's still Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney, and then Brad Keselowski. The top three, they've got some separation. That battle for fourth, though, Mark, continues to be a good one.
Yeah, no breathing room for Daniel Suarez as Kyle Larson gives chase. He got a really good run, had to lift a little bit. That provided the opportunity for Denny Hamlin to turn that into a three-car battle.
Larson trying to play offense and defense. Again, trying to get past Suarez and hold off Hamlin.
Larson's going to take a shallow entry into turn number one. Not close enough, though, to get alongside Daniel Suarez. In fact, Larson slips up, slides up the racetrack. Hamlin right there, about a half a car length behind.
Really got to pick your spot if you're the second car in that line, because if you make that dive to the bottom of the racetrack, you lose momentum and allow that car behind you to gain momentum and keep it. That's what's happened for Denny Hamlin as he gets to the bottom of Kyle Larson off of four.
Suarez hanging on to fourth. A fierce battle for fifth. It's Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin. As Mark James said, Nick, those guys have been stuck together pretty much all race.
Yeah, a lot of give and take as they've been running inside the top 10 all day long. Kyle Larson now is going to move up to the top side of the racetrack. He'll hold off Denny Hamlin for another lap down back straightaway.
Suarez not comfortable, but you know he's watched them have at it in his rearview mirror. At least the spotters keeping it posted. Hamlin with another strong run into turn number four, but it's about a two-car length advantage for Kyle Larson.
Meanwhile, Eric Jones creeping up on Chris Buescher. Buescher in the 8th spot, losing ground to Chase Elliott, as well as Jones. They're back in one.
Yeah, Eric Jones is having a sneaky good day. He's been using that outside line for that legacy team, and he is holding pace with Chris Buescher as they rock it out in turn two.
Brad Keselowski giving us hints that he may try to make a move for second place. He's got it down to about 4 car lengths, but now just behind in the battle we've been watching. Again, Kyle Larson gets a run. Again, he has to lift. And again, here comes Denny Hamlin off of turn 4.
Right, Denny Hamlin is making Kyle Larson's life miserable as they cross the start-finish line. Hamlin a single car length back in the tire tracks of Larson.
I think Daniel Suarez is equally a part of that, making Kyle Larson's life difficult right now. It's getting awful close, Mark James, at quarter entry. Suarez, though, doing a good job holding those guys off.
Always gets a good run into turn number 3, does Denny Hamlin. He just can't seem to make the pad stick. Again, that car probably gets dirtied up. The front end of that car gets a little uncomfortable when they get that dirty air. Larson has the spot for now on turn number 4.
We haven't talked about Bubba Wallace for a while because, oh, by the way, he's pulled out to a 2-second lead. He's now led 84 laps. Doug, that's the most laps he's led in any race this season. Led 80 at Richmond. He's now at 84 and counting here in Texas.
And a really fast car in that number 23 McDonald's machine right now, pulling away from the field as we have 35 laps to go in stage 2.
The NASCAR playoffs are here, and everyone on the Toyota racing team is gearing up to bring the championship home. Like Andre and Steve, who've been growing out their playoff beards.
I've been growing mine for 20 years. Doesn't that just make it a beard?
That's called dedication, Steve. To accomplish greater things this year, everyone plays a part. Be part of the action at toyota.com/racing. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
Hey y'all, this is Ronte, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the pimento cheese. I was like, go cheese, go pimento, go honey, go get it.
Hi, this is Chantrice, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the mild spiciness of the pickled jalapenos. No, it's the crispy chicken. Actually, I can't decide. It's the entire sandwich.
Order the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Right at the halfway mark here of the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Top 5 look like this. Bubba Wallace has a 2-second lead over Ryan Blaney. Brad Keselowski is 3rd. 4th, Kyle Larson. And 5th is Daniel Suarez. From Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, it's PRN's Brad Gilley. Did you know you can take PRN with you anywhere? That's right. By downloading the PRN mobile app, you can listen to our live race broadcast from anywhere. Make sure you don't miss a second of the action from the track. Download today for station listings and on-demand access to your favorite studio shows like Fast Talk, Pit Reporters, or Garage Pass. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app. Available in the Apple App Store and on Google Play.
Hey, I'm Corey LaJoy for Speedway Children's Charities. The mission for Speedway Children's Charities has remained true since its founding almost 40 years ago. To care for children in educational, financial, social, and medical needs in order to help them lead happy and productive lives. So many children have benefited from our group in the past, but we need your help now more than ever. There's so much we can do when we all join together, so let's start today. Visit speedwaycharities.org to learn more. That's Thank you in advance for your help.
Eric Jones has just moved up to the 6th position. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson continues to try to climb the ladder. He's running in 3rd. All kinds of heat on Ryan Blaney. Meanwhile, Hamlin just behind him, putting heat on the 4th place car. Brad Keselowski, he looks inside in turn 1.
Yeah, it looks inside, but Brad Keselowski's going to close the door. Meanwhile, the battle for 2nd is on. Ryan Blaney to the top side. Kyle Larson to the bottom.
Blaney is trying to hold on to that spot for the last couple of laps, and you knew it's just a matter of time. Kyle Larson clears it in the entrance to turn number 3. Blaney's car washes up, and he's got more coming behind him. He's got Brad Keselowski. Keselowski, though, better check on the rearview mirror because here comes Denny Hamlin.
Blaney didn't really put up a fight. Larson just scooted around him. Keselowski is in 4th now, but he's got company in the person of Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin goes to the middle of the racetrack to try to get some momentum. Brad Keselowski moves up, trying to take that air away. Not sure it's going to do it. Hamlin right on the back bumper of Keselowski at the midway point.
We'll see if he can get to the bottom of 3 first. Talking about Denny Hamlin. Looks like he will do just that, and he'll grab the spot. Maybe I speak too soon because here comes a hard-charging Brad Keselowski to the high side of the 4.
As those two battle it out, Eric Jones closing in on both of them as that trio closes in on Ryan Blaney.
It's Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, the top 3. We're going to have a change for 4. Denny Hamlin noses ahead, although here comes Brad Keselowski. Strong run out of turn number 2 to keep that spot.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin looking awfully strong to the bottom of the racetrack, and Keselowski just a little bit stronger to the high side. He gets a really nice run on Ryan Blaney. Blaney do a nice job of holding that spot now. Here comes Denny Hamlin to the inside of Keselowski off of turn number 4.
As they like to say in racing, well, here's the deal. Kyle Larson, after he took away 2nd spot, he is chewing into that lead that Bubba had, Nick.
Yeah, no doubt. It is down to about 10 car lengths as they exit turn number 2. It was a healthy 20 car lengths, though, just a couple laps ago. Mark James, Kyle Larson's charging.
Exercise and speed and patience. I mean, that's exactly what he did. I mean, he had to work his way through some traffic, and now that he's done it, there's no question he's closing as he exits turn 4.
Down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Wendy Venturini.
Kyle Larson has been the fastest car on the racetrack. When he got around Ryan Blaney, you heard Cliff Daniels come over the radio and say, just take it easy, 1 car at a time. You are faster than the 23, meaning Bubba Wallace. Kyle Larson has a fast machine. He's been able to maneuver around traffic. It seems like easier than most of the other guys out there today. And he is slowly picking up on Bubba Wallace. And we do know that we have about 26 more laps until the next time we might see that caution.
We know clean air is king, but 2 tires against 4 is also a problem.
Battle for the lead in turn 1.
Yep, it's down to about 3 car lengths. Bubba Wallace starting to search around the racetrack, not near to the bottom, because Kyle Larson's got it down to a car length underneath Big Hoss TV.
Blaney and Hamlin, pretty good battle for 3rd just behind them. And this pick up that lead pack into turn number 3. It's about a 2 car length advantage for Bubba Wallace now. And both swing wide in the entrance of turn 4.
As they come to the stripe, 23 laps left in stage number 2. Wallace again clinging to the top spot. Larson is closing in and closing in.
Oh no, it's a battle between Bubba Wallace and the racists. Oh jeez.
The pole sitter, but Kyle Larson is on the charge. Young Buddy to the top side of the racetrack, door to door at a 2.
Yeah, that car looks so strong to the high side through 1 and 2, and he stuck it to the high side, and he made that pass stick. He's pulled out to an advantage now, but a couple of car lengths now as Bubba Wallace tries to keep pace in the entrance to turn 4.
Unscientific poll here, but if this is judged by the fans getting on their feet, popular move there for Kyle Larson as he takes the lead away, really unopposed there from Bubba Wallace and is driving away. And Mark, as you pointed out a moment ago, he was like 0.5 of a second faster.
Yeah, it was no contest. Bubba just had to throw out the white flag.
Right now, Kyle Larson is the race leader. He is pulling away. He already has a half-second lead over Bubba Wallace. Then it's Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and Eric Jones rounding out the top 5 here as we have gotten past the halfway.
Hell yeah, he said Nick.
24 laps to go, just 22 to go in this stage.
Hell yeah, he said Nick.
Unraveling here towards the end of the 2nd stage, and things then will start to get real serious in this 3rd and final stage. Again, we will go 102 laps in that final stage, and so that means we'll have at least 1 or 2 green flag pit stops in there if the race goes green.
We've had 11 leaders, 13 lead changes, and 6 cautions for 31 laps. First caution, lap 41, was caused when Austin Dillon lost a tire. That put him out of the race. Lap 48, Alex Bowman, Eric Almirola got together. They're both still out there. Lap 54, Todd Gilliland lost a tire. He is out of the event. Lap 75, Kyle Busch crashed down in turn number 1. He is out. That's the most impactful thing of the day.
Right now, Eric Jones in the 4th spot, threatening to have his best finish of the season. So far, that is a 6th place run at Talladega. He also finished 8th at Atlanta and Nashville. We're coming right back to Texas Motor Speedway.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Susan has always wanted to live in a chateau.
I like a certain je ne sais quoi.
While Jake is more into the Cape Cod style home.
It's a classic look.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they can save even more. In the end, Susan and Jake found a Cape Cod style home where they will only speak French.
Bonjour, je t'aime, merci beaucoup, and cordon bleu.
You'll get better with time. Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
Back here at Texas Motor Speedway, 17 laps to go in stage 2, top 10. Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace, Hamlin, Eric Jones, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, Keselowski, 9th is Suarez, and 10th to Ross Chastain. From Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
I'm Paul Shadden, Charlotte, with Kathy Martindale in Nashville. You're on C-Max Racing Country from PRN.
We're so proud of bringing you the best singers in country music and the biggest stars in NASCAR.
Kyle Larson, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I was up at the Hendrick Complex. That place is absolutely unreal.
It's the nicest facility, in the Cup Series for race shops.
C-Max Racing Country. Music from the fast lane.
Portsmouth to Atomic, Eldora to Willard, Richmond Raceway to Brush Creek. Do you have relentless passion for grassroots racing? Then tune to PRNs at the Track, where the personalities of grassroots racing share their dramatic, unique, and exciting stories. He ran an at speed in a late model with no left front.
He not only ran with no left front, he pretty much dominated.
That's PRNs at the Track.
Back here at Texas Motor Speedway under green and just wiping down these laps to the end of stage 2. We know RFK has been strong here at Texas. Chris Buescher currently runs 7th. Brad Keselowski currently runs 8th. On my end of pit road, I have Brad Keselowski. He has been patient, but he has just dropped from the 3rd place position just a few laps ago down to 8th. They are reminding him to be patient as this stage is coming to a close and we have 14 laps to go to hold on to it. But the car is not performing exactly how it was earlier in this run. So Brad Case trying to be patient as RFK has a strong showing so far at Texas.
Now let's go over to Brad Gillis. Ryan Blaney started this race 23rd for pit strategy. They are currently running 5th, but it's not just pit strategy. His car is continuing to get better. It's not only getting better with pit stop adjustments, it's getting better because the track is starting to widen out. That's something that's really favoring them. If you remember when they won the Coca-Cola 600 back in May, they had all of their speed in the second half of the race. The biggest difference between Charlotte in May and Texas now, it was dark in Charlotte when Blaney was faster. This is the hottest part of the day. That car is coming to life. Brett McMillan.
Well, Bubba Wallace over the 2 tires stopped during the last caution period, and it got him some great track position. Got him to the front of the pack. He had the lead until a few laps ago. Now he's dropped all the way to 4th. He came on the radio a couple laps ago and said right now in turns 1 and 2, the car is really iffy. He can't wait till they get to the end of the stage. This is coming in 21 laps.
And now it is 11 laps to go actually here in stage number 2. Wallace in the 4th spot, Doug. He could fall as far as 8th. Blaney, Elliott, Busher now look like they have some momentum, may be able to take that spot away.
I think he'll be able to hang on to a top 10. But Kyle Larson, he is the biggest lead we've seen all day long, Mark. He's pulled up almost 5 seconds the advantage over Denny Hamlin.
Different zip code right now than anybody else. I mean, that car is dialed in. We saw this before 2 years ago once he got out front. That was it.
Lamar James, we got a nice battle for second halfway down the backstretch with Hamlin and Eric Jones.
Yeah, what a good run for Eric Jones. The 7 top 10s on the season, and he is poised for another one here. Could be his best finish of the season as he is right in the tire tracks of Denny Hamlin, trying to get some momentum by running a half a group higher down the banking.
9 laps to go in stage number 2. Meanwhile, Bubba Wallace back in 4th. His rear view mirror sees Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher as they head to 1.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace is really starting to lose some pace, especially compared to the front 3. Now he's trying to hold on, as Mark alluded to, as he's got Ryan Blaney a car length behind, Chase Elliott another 3.
Yeah, the whole gaggle of cars right behind Bubba Wallace. Blaney is the closest to him. It's a really strong run in the entrance to turn number 3. Buescher's car washes up on him. He is the 4th car in line with Chase Elliott running just in front of him.
Here comes that group of cars led by Bubba Wallace across the start-finish line. For the moment, Bubba is in 4th. I don't think that's going to last long, Nick Gilman.
Yeah, these two are the best of friends, Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney. Take a look behind Chris Buescher and Chase Elliott. They're looking a little racy. They're going to go side by side right behind that duo, Mark, just outside the top 5.
They stay that way as they approach turn number 3. They'll glide it up to 24 degrees of banking. Meanwhile, Blaney slipped around Bubba Wallace. He'll grab that spot. Bubba gets to the bottom of the racetrack, but the battle behind him, Buescher and Elliott go side by side.
Elliott on the outside of Buescher. Now he is on the back bumper of Bubba Wallace, and that's a bit of a roadblock.
Yeah, they both caught Bubba Wallace at the wrong time through that very tight dog leg. Looks like Bubba Wallace is going to move to the top side of the racetrack. That opens the bottom for Chris Buescher, who clears Chase Elliott out of 2.
Yeah, Buescher got a strong run off the bottom of the racetrack. Turn number 2, Elliott trying to come storming back. Bubba Wallace gets a pretty nice run on Ryan Blaney now in the entrance to turn 4.
I need to let you know, Kyle Larson leads, Denny Hamlin 2nd, Eric Jones 3rd, Blaney is 4th, 5th is Bubba Wallace. Chase Elliott is trying to make up a few spots here.
Yeah, Chase Elliott is in that 7th spot. He's going to watch as Chris Buescher wrestles away a spot from Bubba Wallace, and now Chase will try to jump on the horse and run down Bubba Wallace about a half a car length behind.
And the battle for 2nd tightening up as Eric Jones makes another run off Denny Hamlin. Now for turn number 4. He's about 2 car lengths back now.
As they come down to the stripe, 5 to go now in stage number 2. Again, Kyle Larson is gone. Bubba Wallace now slipping back, may lose another spot to Chase Elliott. Elliott looks inside as they head back to the banking.
Yeah, Bubba had the 6th position at the start-finish line. He'll not have it entering turn number 1 because Chase Elliott charged to the bottom of the racetrack and took it away from him. So Bubba Wallace dropped kicked back to the 7th position.
And while that was going on, Eric Jones does indeed clear Denny Hamlin. He has moved up to the 2nd spot now as Blaney starts to get a little separation from Buescher off at turn number 4.
Legacy Motor Club, look.
They come off at turn number 4.
2 laps to go here in stage 2. Kyle Larson, who's averaged 2.3 a finish in the first 3 stage races or first 3 playoff races, maybe reducing that number here, Nick.
Looks like Bubba Wallace lost a couple more laps. He's fallen, or a couple more spots. He's fallen tonight. But it is all smooth sailing for Kyle Larson on the back straightaway.
Yeah, still no danger of having to deal with Austin Cindric. He may not have to deal with him at all by the time they get to the end of this stage.
Oh my God, what are we doing? Now it's starting to do this shit.
He's about 10 car lengths behind.
Why is it?
Set up for turn 4. As they work.
Of Quit cutting out. Oh my
Larson's
fucking
sponsorship.
god.
Adam, turn number 2, Kyle Larson, running right smack dab in the middle of the racetrack.
He could be getting hot at the right time because he has won at 5 of the next several tracks on the schedule, and he is laying them down here this afternoon. Coming up for turn number 4, Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson will come back to start-finish line. He will look at the green and white checkered flag, and that means he is the winner of stage number 2 in dominating fashion. It takes a while for Eric Jones to get here. Eric Jones is over 6 seconds back in second, Denny Hamlin third. Ryan Blaney looks like he'll take on fourth, just edging out Chris Buescher. Chase Elliott has a nice run there. He'll be sixth. Then it's Brad Keselowski, Ross Chastain, Bubba Wallace, and Daniel Suarez make up the top 10. Stage 2 on PRN was brought to you by eBay. Burn rubber, not cash, by shopping at eBay Motors, ebaymotors.com.
And now a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive. Well, today you can expect lots of cloud cover with 0% chance of raining on your parade because you'll be riding your motorcycle vroom vroom. That rumbling low pressure system beneath you should give way to a relaxing commute and the sudden urge to take the scenic route everywhere you go because dagnabbit, you're having fun out there. That's your forecast, back to you. This has been a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive, where every day's a beautiful day to ride with coverage from America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get a quote today and see what you can save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When it comes to maintaining your engine to run at peak performance, trust Z-Max Micro Lubricant. Z-Max soaks into metal, and it's so easy to add to your oil or gas to disperse carbon buildup in your engine, fuel system, and transmission. Protect your vehicle's engine to the max with Z-Max. Check us out at zmax.com or visit us on Facebook and Twitter to find out more about our full line of products. Z-Max for your car, big rigs, small engines, firearms, and more. That's Z-Max Micro Lubricant, available at your favorite auto parts store.
Stage 2 is in the books. It belongs to Kyle Larson from Texas. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Here's Christopher Bell.
My Toyota Camry TRD race car isn't cheap to build and prepare. I have a pit crew that maintains and fixes my equipment. I have a spotter high above the track watching my back, talking me through turns and potential dangers on the track. I physically train to handle the stress of driving. And I have software helping my crew chief and engineers make the right strategy calls. And with all this, I never take my eyes off the road, and neither should you. One distraction can change everything in one instant.
We're back at Texas Motor Speedway. Pit road is yet to open here after stage number 2, won by Kyle Larson. If one of the Rick Hendrick drivers, Doug, if Kyle Larson in particular can hold on and win this race, it would be win 300. That was a number that was unthinkable. But what a team Rick Hendrick has put together, and those years of consistency has led to this point. He's at 299, right there at the precipice of 300.
Well, not wanting to get out over my skis, but I will anyway. If he gets number 300 today, I think it's Kyle Larson that delivers it to him. I have not seen winning speed out of any of the other 300 cars today. Although Chase Elliott's been pretty represented, I don't know that he's fast enough to get up and win this race.
Chase Elliott is sneaky quick at this point. Again, fourth at the, or rather sixth at the end of this stage. They're on pit lane. Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Knuckles were just punched here together to say go team at Kyle Larson's pit stall. It's the very first one on pit road. He comes to a stop with the boss man Rick Hendrick on top of the pit box. His four-tire Sunoco fuel. He was a little bit tight in 3 and 4 in traffic. Good in 1 and 2. Solid stop. Brett Gilly.
Ryan Blaney says his car is just a little too free on entry. Said one of the bigger problems is in 3 and 4. There's a bump there, and that's been rough for him. 4 tires and Sunoco race fuel. Ross Chastain pretty happy with the handling of his car, although the team has been talking about the engine. Chastain is stuck on pit road. The engine's running, but it doesn't appear that he can get the car in gear. This is going to be costly. He finally gets it in gear and stalls it all the way out. Brett McMillan.
Denny Hamlin said the car has been too loose to give an air pressure adjustment. 4-tire change. Sunoco fuel 11.2 seconds. And also Also, Bubba Wallace, he also got a 4-tire change and an air pressure adjustment, so the car was basically straight up and down in the turns.
Off the pit lane, Larson, Eric Jones, then Hamlin third, Blaney, Busher, Keselowski in the 6th spot, followed by Bubba Wallace. Then it was Michael McDowell, Chase Elliott.
Really unfortunate pit stop there, as described by Brad Gilly for Ross Chastain, Mark. You cannot have those kind of mistakes at this stage in the race with 99 laps to go. Cost him a lot of track position. It'll be really hard to make that back up for a guy that needed a really good run and has a fast car.
Absolutely needs half the track position pretty much all afternoon long. When we come back, we'll set the leaderboard, throw the green flag on the 3rd and final stage of the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400.
Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's stand tall in our unwavering commitment to honoring our heroes. We extend our gratitude beyond words by proudly offering a legendary salute discount to those who protect our freedoms. Our dedication to those who selflessly serve us runs deep within our DNA. It's not just a discount, it's a commitment to making a difference, because every day is a chance for us to say thank you. Visit BassPro.com/legendary salute for more details. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
Make your plans now to stay at the South Point Hotel Casino and Spa next March when NASCAR returns to Las Vegas. They have great race ticket and room packages for you to choose from. The South Point also features a wide variety of excellent dining options and 11 different restaurants. Or you can enjoy the 16-screen movie complex and visit the 64-lane bowling center. Visit SouthPointCasino.com and make your reservations today. Stay where the racers stay at the South Point Hotel Casino and Spa. And before you know it, just heard the ad there for the South Point. We will be there. They've got a big celebrity blackjack tournament going on. You can be a part of that. We'll tell you more about that here in a moment. From Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
When you take a swipe at your teammate leaving pit road and then act like nothing happened, you know, I just don't know where he stands at. That's the conversation in the garage area. How focused is he? Where's he at? What's he thinking about? Personally, I think the not making the playoffs and not coming back and running as well as he did has really set him back on his heels. He's just not come back in.
Hi, this is Doug Rice at PRN. Join me every Monday night for another great episode of Fastball, right here on the Performance Racing Network.
Ready to go 400 miles?
You got to give it everything you got. It's about how hard you can keep moving forward.
And here we go, green flag in Las Vegas.
Now, if you know what you're worth, that's what you get what you're worth. You better than that.
Trouble, looks like the Gatto goes sideways, bounced off the wall.
William Byron has dominated. He gets the win at Las Vegas.
The South Point 400 in Vegas. Get tickets at lvms.com.
The car coming off of pit road, he said it feels like it's starving for fuel. The team thinks it's a bad throttle position sensor that shouldn't hurt his performance, but it's going to make for a rough day.
Currently posted 26. The lights are off. The pace car, driven by Jesse Dollavut. Let's give you the top 10. Kyle Larson, Eric Jones, 1-2. Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney. Row 3, Chris Buescher, Brad Keselowski. The rest of our top 10, Bubba Wallace, Michael McDowell, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, and 11 through 15, Kevin Harvick, Carson Hocevar, Chase Briscoe, William Byron, and A.J. Allmendinger.
And they get back to the line here, just 96 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway as we start the 3rd and final stage. Kyle Larson on the inside, he is flanked by Eric Jones on the outside. Row 2 is Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney.
Texas race fans jump to their feet to watch this restart. Bubba Wallace is looking aggressive. He's going to try to go through the middle of the 3rd row. Up front, though, Eric Jones not backing down against Kyle Larson.
And Blaney gave him a shove at about the midway point between turn 1 and 2. That really allowed him to keep up some momentum, but it's not enough. There goes Kyle Larson, slips around him. Eric Jones will settle for the 2nd spot for now because here comes Denny Hamlin off of turn 4.
Larson goes up the racetrack to block Jones. Jones now trying to hold off Hamlin 4 car lengths back. Ryan Blaney.
Didn't take long for the front 3 to find a little bit of separation. They've got about a 3 or 4 car length advantage over Ryan Blaney, although Blaney gets a nice charge out of turn 2. He runs in 4.
Yeah, he has a firm grasp on that 4th position. Things not so comfortable for 5th place running Bubba Wallace. He's got cars starting to stack up behind him a little bit. Although things start to settle out for him now, and Brad Keselowski starts to give chase, but a pretty good side-by-side battle behind him.
Bubba jumped up a couple of spots on the restart. The battle that's side by side is Chris Buescher and Chase Elliott as they fight for 7.
Yeah, there wasn't enough room to swipe a credit card between those cars in turns 3 and 4. Now it looks like they may swap lines. Chris Buescher's going to try to go to the top side as Chase Elliott holds the bottom. They're door to door.
Yeah, looking pretty strong to the high side is Chris Buescher. Looks like he's going to grab that spot. He'll slip right in front of Chase Elliott. Now Chase Elliott, if he looks in the mirror, he's going to see the car of Michael McDowell. He gets a strong run on turn number 4.
Everybody single file. Chase Briscoe tried to go around Alex Bowman. Now he drives hard to his inside. It's a battle for 10.
Yeah, it's just right there around that 10th position. Chase Briscoe to the bottom of the racetrack. Alex Bowman to the top side. They'll stay glued to each other, and that purple car for Alex Bowman stays even with Briscoe.
And they stay even now as they start to set up for turn number 3. Briscoe trying to hold on to that spot. He's got that car firmly planted on the bottom of the racetrack. They'll go door handle to door handle now. Bowman with a really nice run on turn number 4.
We now pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway here on the Performance Racing Network. Doug Rice, Mark Garrow on the pit lane. It is Wendy Venturini, Brad Gilly, Brett McMillan. In the turns today, Nick Yeoman, and of course, Mark James. Pleasure to be bringing you the action. Let's jump down on the pit lane now to Wendy Venturini.
Here on pit road, we listen to a lot of radio communication between crew chiefs and drivers. If there is a crew chief that gives a ton of information to a driver, it's Cliff Daniels to Kyle Larson. Now, granted, Kyle Larson is a very talented race car driver, but during the race, especially today, he's giving Kyle Larson information on how many tires are going on what cars based on the traffic around him. The most recent update from Cliff Daniels was about the weather, and it wasn't rain, it was about the clouds. He said the ambient air temperature is the same, but he let Kyle Larson know that clouds have come over the racetrack and the track temperature was about to change. That is crucial information that not every crew chief is always giving their driver throughout the race. Clearly, Kyle Larson is informed throughout this race, and he likes that communication from Cliff Daniels.
Kyle Larson does have a win here at Texas Motor Speedway in 15 starts. He also has 3 wins this year at Richmond, Martinsville, and Darlington. The best average finish in the playoffs of all the drivers. A lot of things going right, Mark Garrow, for the driver of the number 5 car.
And again, cloud cover has come over this racetrack. We talked today how hot it's been. The high temperature, it reached 101 degrees here in Texas. Not the hottest race NASCAR has ever run. That was in Fontana, California in 2007. It was 110 degrees that day.
Glad I wasn't around for that. When things tightened up a little bit here between Ryan Blaney and Bubba Wallace and the fight for 4.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the 4 fastest cars are running 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. Bubba Wallace starting to run down Ryan Blaney. They're separated by 2 car lengths out of turn 2.
Not much of a run off of turn number 2. It holds to that advantage that Nick Yeoman pointed out. Blaney to the bottom of the racetrack. Bubba Wallace is going to give pursuit. Brad Keselowski trying to keep pace in that battle. Chris Buescher also would like to sneak up and make that a 4-car battle.
A little farther back, Alex Bowman has his hands full. It's with Carson Hocevar. Bowman running in the 12th spot. Hocevar trying to move up.
Carson Hocevar takes a peek to the inside. He'll pull even with Alex Bowman, and when you're even, Hocevar's leaving. He'll get a strong charge at turn 2, although Bowman didn't give him any room. He'll swing back right around another backstretch.
Hocevar has really been working his way toward the front of the pack, and the time in the pit stop has had a lot to do with that. He'll lose that spot 4 now. The tries to come strong and back, but now all of a sudden his mirror is full up with Kevin Harvick.
That's a nice fight for 12th back there going on, well behind the race leader, and it hasn't taken Kyle Larson long on this restart to pull away from the field. A 1.5-second lead over Eric Jones down to Brad Gilly.
Well, you were talking about Carson Hocevar, and if you remember last week at Bristol, they almost had a top 10 finish were it not for a loose wheel in the final stage of the race. Today, he's very happy with his race car, and his team at Legacy Motor Club is very happy with his performance. They really haven't made many adjustments. He's just simply been trying to methodically work his way through the field. And remember, Carson Hocevar, back when he was an IndyCar Truck leader in Texas earlier this year, he won his first career NASCAR race.
Ross Chastain continuing to have problems. He has fallen back now to the 30th position. And Doug, he went way up the racetrack a moment ago. Again, it looked like he was maybe not out of gas. Again, still having some kind of fuel or gas pedal problem here, acceleration problem.
Right now, he is riding 30th, well off the pace, and if he languishes around there too much longer, Kyle Larson will come up and put Chastain a lap down. We started to take you through the field. Let's go ahead and do that. Kyle Larson leading by 2 seconds over Eric Jones. Denny Hamlin is 3 seconds back in third. Then it's Ryan Blaney and Bubba Wallace. Sixth is Brad Keselowski. Chris Buescher 7th, 8th Chase Elliott, 9th is Michael McDowell, and 10th is William Byron.
Chase Briscoe's 11th, 12th Alex Bowman, Carson Hocevar 13th, then 14th Kevin Harvick, AJ Allmendinger 15th, 16th Daniel Suarez, Tyler Reddick 17th, 18th Martin Truex Jr., Eric Almirola 19th, 20th Ryan Preece.
Christopher Bell 21st, 22nd Joey Logano, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 23rd, 24th Ty Dillon, Zane Smith is 25th, J.J. Yaley is 26th, 27th is Harrison Burton, Austin Cindric rides 29th. We just talked about it. Ross Chastain is 30th. He's still on the lead lap, but he's losing a lot of ground.
NASCAR on the lead lap, and 31st is B.J. McLeod, then 2 laps down Corey LaJoie. These other drivers are out. Getting credit today for 33rd, Ty Gibbs, Kyle Busch 34th, 35th Todd Gilliland, and finishing last in 36th there was Austin Dillon. That leaderboard brought to you by RaceDayNFT.com. Remember, each Speedway Motorsports Race Week, you can get NFT bundles with hats, die-casts, and more. Visit RaceDayNFT.com for more information. Every day is Race Day at RaceDayNFT.com. We'll take a break from Texas Motor Speedway with Kyle Larson leading Eric Jones by 2.7 seconds.
The NASCAR playoffs are here, and everyone on the Toyota racing team is gearing up to bring the championship home. Like Andre and Steve, who've been growing out their playoff beards.
I've been growing mine for 20 years. Doesn't that just make it a beer?
That's called dedication, Steve. To accomplish greater things this year, everyone plays a part. Be part of the action at Toyota.com/racing. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. So minivans, sedans, JDMs, roll out. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. And with eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning dirt, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Brad Keselowski just slipped around Bubba Wallace, so moved Brad K up to 5th. From Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hello, I'm Marcus Smith. As NASCAR celebrates its 75th year, Speedway Motorsports recognizes some of the sport's greatest moments. Here's Doug Rice and Kyle Petty.
Let's talk about Darrell Waltrip, his impact on the sport, and what you think DW is known for aside from winning 3 titles.
Darrell Waltrip had a huge impact on the sport as soon as he got here. And we can compare it today to Ross Chastain. We can compare it to the late 70s, early 80s to Dale Earnhardt Sr. He made other drivers aware that there was somebody here, and somebody knocking on the door that wanted to take the trophies and take their money home. Darrell did it in the press. Sarcasm does not come across well in any font, in any newspaper, and that's basically all we had at that time. So Darrell got a reputation of being a smart butt, of being that guy that just ran his mouth, but Darrell could back it up on the racetrack. I don't think that in the beginning that Richard Petty or David Pearson or Cale or those guys appreciated the talent that he was.
75 years of NASCAR.
We're back at Texas Motor Speedway and back down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brett McMillan.
Well, Bubba Wallace has talked about trying to run the high line, but they said, you know what? We're just not very good up there, so don't do it. They're also talking to Eric Jones about maybe a way to catch up to Kyle Larson. He said, run a little deeper into the turns, get off the throttle earlier, and then back on sooner. You know, we want you to run your own race, but if you want to give it a shot, go for it.
Eric Jones has 3 Cup wins at Daytona 2018, Darlington in 2019, and a year ago he won the opening playoff race as a non-playoff driver. Spent 38 races since he's been to Victory Lane. And Doug, he's been rock solid all afternoon long.
You know, if you've only got 3 race wins, I say only, they're tough to come by, but 2 of them are Southern 500s. It's not too shabby.
Yeah, no gimme there.
Wanted to give a plug for our good friends at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa in Vegas on Thursday, October 12th. Brendan Gaughan's Celebrity Blackjack Tournament. You can be a part of this, and you can go in and play blackjack with people like Kevin Harvick, Daniel Hemrick, Rusty Wallace, Rick Allen from over at NBC, Chris Buescher, and more. And contact the folks at the South Point. If the celebrities win money, they give it to Speedway Children's Charity. So that's what they're raising the money for, and it all stays there in Vegas. So if you want to have a little bit of fun, and you got a little bit of time, and you want to buy in and be a part of the Celebrity Blackjack Tournament, that's Thursday, October 12th at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. That's coming up soon.
It really is. It, of course, opens the third and final round of the playoff. Chris Buescher now on the rumble here as he works around Bubba Wallace. He takes over 6th. Wallace in the 7th spot. Michael McDowell trying to gain some ground on him. We have just completed lap 195, still 72 to go here at Texas Motor Speedway in the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. And Kyle Larson just looking so smooth out front right now, has pulled out to a 3.7-second lead over Eric Jones. And Doug, he's 2 seconds up on Denny Hamlin, so you gotta feel for Eric Jones. He's got a super fast car, but you're being done in by somebody else who's just a lot better.
Mark, you and I got tweeted a question earlier today from Joshua the Bowtie Boston saying, who do we think would be the Hendrick driver that would give Rick Hendrick maybe his 300th win? I know what we're thinking right now.
Now, I think going into this race, we vote Kyle Larson. He won here 2 years ago, has finished top 5 in every playoff race so far, so I don't think you have to go much deeper than that.
No, and I mean, if Mr. H gets his 300th win today, it's going to be Kyle Larson that delivers it to him. We got a long way to go, though. We don't take the hats to victory lane. Don't polish or engrave the trophy yet. I know Larson looks really good with 70 laps to go, but we've seen these things unravel with people that having bigger leads.
Doug, the back straightaway here is about 4 football fields long, and Kyle Larson has a 3 football field advantage right now over Eric Jones, and Eric Jones has a 2 football field edge over Denny Hamlin. Hamlin has about a 3 football field advantage over Ryan Blaney, but Blaney, though, getting some heat from Brad Keselowski. They chase across the start-finish line and climb the banking again and won.
Yeah, I think it's 1st and 10. That's the gap between Blaney and Brad Keselowski. Blaney goes up to the top side of the racetrack. Keselowski will follow him. That is a good battle. Mark James for 4th position.
Every time Keselowski gets some momentum, but Blaney answers the challenge and pulls out to about 3 or 4 car lengths. Both cars continue to work their way a little bit higher in turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now they're exiting turn 4.
All right, to continue the football analogy, Larson's scoring touchdowns. Everybody else is having to settle for field goals here right now, as it's a 4.1-second advantage. You said, Mark, almost the entire backstretch here at TMS, and you always feel like when a guy has this kind of big lead, that he might be setting on just a little bit. He's not using that car up.
Kyle Larson isn't one of those guys that use it up, right? And you look at, like, say, for instance, Denny Hamlin running in 3rd. He is another guy that always is trying to save a little bit of race car for the end of it all. So if you got Kyle Larson out front, you know he isn't pushing it for all it's worth, and that makes him even tougher to deal with here in the final stages of this race.
Denny Hamlin's lurking back there in 3rd right now, but he's lurking 6.5 seconds back. Blaney in 4th is 10 seconds back, so that kind of tells you the advantage. But Mark, if this thing stays green here in about 20 laps, I'm guessing we're going to have another round of green flag pit stops. The first time, everybody came in within 2 laps of each other, and there was a lot of craziness on pit road, so you still got that minefield to go through here.
And speaking of a minefield, Bubba Wallace has Michael McDowell, William Byron now hot on his trail.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace has started to fade here over the last 15 to 20 laps. He's lost a couple spots, one to Chris Buescher. Now he's got his hands full. McDowell and Byron charging into 3.
I don't talk much about William Byron today, but we will now. He has that car dialed in behind Michael McDowell. He scoots up about a half a groove higher. We'll see if that momentum carries him off the banking past Michael McDowell.
Bubba Wallace currently 7th. I don't know how long he's going to hold on to that duo of William Byron and Michael McDowell in hot pursuit.
Byron takes that Liberty Chevrolet to the inside line. Doesn't want to be counted out in that Hendrick pole that you guys exacted just a moment ago. He's even with McDowell on the backstretch.
Still even, halfway point of the backstretch. Still even at the entrance at turn number 3. McDowell has to let him go. William Byron slips past him. Now he'll set off in pursuit of Bubba, who comes off at turn number 4.
Move Byron up to the 8th spot as we go down to Brett McMillan.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace says right now he has no security in the right rear.
All right, thanks a lot, Brett McMillan. By the way, the longest green flag run today was 48 laps. We are currently on a 34 green flag run. We'll have green flag pit stops coming up shortly.
Hunt Brothers Pizza always offers 10 toppings to choose from at no extra charge. That's 1,024 topping combinations at one price. At Hunt Brothers Pizza, we love racing and we love pizza. Visit huntbrotherspizza.com to find your next pizza.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
By downloading the free PRN mobile app, you can listen to all of our live race broadcasts anywhere. You'll also have easy access to all of our award-winning studio shows. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app.
Just watching a moment ago, a battle between Martin Truex Jr. and Christopher Bell. It was for 19th position. And it's amazing that those two have struggled like they have today. Again, we've got 61 laps to go here in Texas. Kyle Larson driving away from Eric Jones. The lead now has grown to 6 seconds. You're listening to PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Your family's there, your friends are there, and you celebrate with them in Victory Lane. Like, that is just the coolest moment.
We were scrounging back in 22nd, 24th in points, something like where we're at now.
That's a parking lot. They should bulldoze it, but we go there anyway. We're here racing, try to do the best we can every week.
Definitely a little bit bittersweet, but mentally I've been prepared for it.
If it's happening in NASCAR, you'll hear it on PRN's Garage Pass. Check us out at GoPRN.com.
Hi, this is PRN's David Stiles. Join me each week when I head over to JC's Garage to talk NASCAR. JC is only 16, but he's plugged into the sport unlike anyone you've ever met.
Ross Chastain's kind of my mortal lock right now. Championship 4 contender, I think, with the news coming up with Anheuser-Busch. I think Trackhouse right now is in a really, really good position. I think he's right now my lock for the Championship 4.
That's JC's Garage, wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
The caution flag waving here at Texas. Daniel Suarez trying to get on pit road, spun and then into the grass. He is now making his way into his pit stall. Tough break for Tyler Reddick. He had just pitted, and then Suarez spins out, and the yellow flag comes with it.
And this is going to allow everybody to re-rack here and maybe try to track down Kyle Larson, although he's looked pretty bulletproof here the last few laps. And Mark, he just came in a little bit hot, got the 99 turned sideways and then into the grass. No damage to the car, so to speak, but that's really going to kill any track position Suarez had.
So Suarez did make his stop, and of course he'll have to go to the tail end of the pack as he pits with the red lights flashing here at Texas Motor Speedway. Had a lot of cautions early, but we've been going long green here for a while. That is, again, yellow flag number 8 here in this Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400.
That was a 38-lap green flag run there, second longest of the day. 48, which started the race, was the longest. Pit road is still closed right now, so they'll have to circulate around a couple of more times here at least before they come onto the pit lane. So, Mark, for everybody else, for Kyle Larson, this is probably good news because they can try to make that last-minute adjustment and maybe try to make a run after the 5 car. And if you get shuffled back a little bit, it's tough to get up there, but that's the one car we've seen today that can come up through the pack and pass cars.
Larson would have loved to pit under green with a 6-second lead. You know, you just would love to do that, but that has gone out the board right now. And again, tough break for Tyler Reddick. They had a good stop, no problems, got him out there on the racetrack. And less than, 10, 15 seconds later, as he's getting up to speed, here comes Suarez, and again, as he tried to come down onto the pit lane, locked up the rear tires, did a kind of sideways spin, didn't go all the way around, and then as the car caught traction, it kind of backed up on the grass, stalled for a moment. Suarez tried to refire it quickly, but NASCAR had to throw the yellow. You couldn't leave a car in that position right there. Dangerous position for the cars on the track and other cars trying to come onto pit road.
This is our 8th yellow flag of the day, and pit road will be open to the cars when they come next time around, and that'll be with 56 laps to go when they cross the start-finish mark. That's going to be close. I don't know that you can go that full distance on a tank of gas.
It'll be close. It'll be really close if they were able to get that done. So here they are with the lights flashing on the pace car. And again, the green light flashing as well on pit lane. Kyle Larson is going to lead him down, followed by Eric Jones and Denny Hamlin. Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Kyle Larson has been just a little bit free. Cliff Daniels reminded him of his several-second lead that is now going to disappear for Kyle Larson. It's going to be 4 tires. Sunoco fuel also on pit road. 4th place, Brad Keselowski is going to take 4 tires fuel and an air pressure adjustment, Brad Gilly.
Ryan Blaney says he is bouncing loose. The team is in right now. They're putting Sunoco race fuel in. Carson Hocevar says his car has great balance. Ross Chastain also in. They may go for a 2-tire change. They're going to do that. They do have to wait on fuel. They can make it the rest of the way. Rick McMillan.
Great stop for Eric Jones, 10.2 seconds. It's going to be a little tighter, get into the turns. They gave him a 4-tire change, slight air pressure adjustment. Denny Hamlin wanted to be tightened up a little bit for turns 1 and 2. They also gave him an air pressure adjustment and a 4-tire change, filled him up with Sunoco fuel.
First on, first off, Kyle Larson. Eric Jones, second on, second off. Brad Keselowski up 2. He was the 3rd man off the pit lane, losing 1. Hamlin was 4th. Blaney lost a spot. He's 5th. Bubba Wallace gained a spot. He is up to number 6. The rest of the cars, top 10, as they came off the pit road. Chris Buescher, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, and Chase Elliott.
And it looks like everybody had the same strategy. 4-tire stops all the way around here under caution flag number 8.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select program raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Whether your engine runs daily or only when you need it, Z-Max Micro Lubricant is the force you need against carbon buildup that can damage your engine. Combustion causes carbon and other harmful deposits to build up on your engine, fuel system, and transmission. And carbon is like sandpaper rubbing against your engine's internal parts. You don't want that. You want Z-Max Micro Lubricant. It soaks into metal and keeps your vehicle running at peak performance. Find out more at zmax.com or visit us on Facebook and Twitter. Protect your engine to the max with Z-Max.
Welcome back here at Texas Motor Speedway. 8th caution flag of the day for a spinning Daniel Suarez on pit road. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, this is Daniel Suarez, and it's time for the Coca-Cola Racing Family Update.
Truex on the inside, Byron in the middle, Chastain up high.
Hamlin now beginning to come to the front. He's got the edge now. He'll take the lead away.
Ryan Blaney sliding down into the grass. There was a lot of bumping and Blaney noses into the infield retaining wall.
Ross Chastain doing a great job. Truex right there, big in his mirror as they race down the backstretch here. Harrison Burton is spinning down the back straightaway. Everybody going to the top side. Here comes Kyle Larson. Larson dives to the bottom of the racetrack. He wants to lead all 4.
Chris Buescher has trouble and a spin off of turn 4.
Yeah, we've got a ton of cars that are in this one, and Larson is certainly one of those cars.
Trouble coming out of turn 4. Hamlin is sideways. The car spins down on the apron of the racetrack.
Byron takes that brightly painted number 24 to the front. He gets a big shot from Daniel Suarez.
This is PRN.
Hey, this is Joey Logano, and it's time for the Coca-Cola Racing Family Update.
And it comes with 54 laps to go in Texas. The top Coca-Cola driver, Denny Hamlin, in 4th. Chase Elliott is 11th. Joey Logano, 24th. Then 30th, Daniel Suarez. And unfortunately, out of the race, Austin Dillon. Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. So when you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it. Because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
Ron Blaney had been running in the top 5, but that team is penalized too fast on pit road. He'll go to the back of the pack on the restart. Here's the way they will stack up right now. It'll be Kyle Larson, Eric Jones, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace 5th. 6 through 10, Chris Buescher, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott, and Kevin Harvick. They're in front of you, Mark James.
Lights are off on the pace car. No one has had anything for Kyle Larson. We'll see if that holds true on this restart. Pace car is off as the field hits the Geico restart zone.
Blaney will restart in 27th. So here's Larson. Jones now coming to the green flag. It's out. Larson gets a big bump from Brad Keselowski, but Jones is still there in turn 1.
Here in Lone Star State, it's Kyle Larson to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll take the race lead. Eric Jones pulls pretty quickly to second. Brad Keselowski has a nose on Hamlin for the third.
Yeah, he and Jones really got a strong run at the exit of turn number 1, which carried the momentum into turn number 2. Denny Hamlin indeed grabs that 3rd spot. Here comes Bubba Wallace now, and he gets to the bottom side of Chris Buescher. Buescher comes storming back up at turn number 4.
You know it's not, but Kyle Larson made that look easy driving away from Eric Jones. The battle is going to be behind them just a little bit. That's Bubba Wallace, William Byron, and Chris Buescher.
That's the battle for the 6th position. Chris Buescher washes up the racetrack. That opens the door for Bubba Wallace. He'll take that spot at a 2.
Buescher had it. Then he lost it to Bubba Wallace. Now Bubba Wallace is getting greedy. He wants another spot. He'd like that 4th position, but the car really washed up in the midway point between 3 and 4. Here comes Chris Buescher.
William Byron slammed the door on Chase Briscoe, so he still rides behind Buescher as again Wallace closes in on Keselowski.
Yeah, Bubba's in an RFK sandwich right now with Keselowski ahead of him, Buescher behind him. It looks like Chris Buescher closer to Bubba at turn number 2, but he holds him off out of the 2nd corner.
Early in the run, Buescher car looks fast at the bottom of the racetrack. He gets to the high side, loses a little momentum. That allows Bubba Wallace to gain some distance from him and try to track down Keselowski on the 4.
2 laps into this run, Blaney still mired back in 27th. That's a pretty good battle there between Keselowski and Bubba Wallace. Chewing on each other for 4th.
Yeah, that is 4th position. Kyle Larson's already opened up about a 15-car length advantage over Eric Jones, Denny Hamlin. Then it's Keselowski and Wallace, the top 5.
Thought 2nd was going to get interesting for a while, but that has sorted itself out a little bit. Keselowski now starts to dance away from Bubba Wallace slightly. Buescher has an advantage as well. Things start to stack up behind him a little bit with William Byron.
49 laps to go. We're getting down to the closing stages here in Texas. Shadow now has covered the racetrack as again Wallace tries to grab a spot down in 1.
Yeah, that shadow and the cloud cover that's rolled in has been a big relief. Just about everyone here at Texas Motor Speedway, everybody stay single file on the back straightaway.
Seems to be we get about 10 or 12 laps into a restart, then we kind of settle in single file and we get into what we call race pace. Then it'll be another 10 laps until the tire wear comes, guys, and things start to bunch up again.
Right now, Kyle Larson reminds me of myself watching a rom-com. He has checked out. He has a 2.5 lead mark, and he is not looking back.
Again, the car's just so smooth. It's not slipping a bit. And again, as we talked about before, you know he's not using everything he has. If he needs more, he can go get it. He doesn't need it as he works his way out of turn 4. 47 laps to go, and he's quickly jumped out to nearly a 2-second lead.
Yeah, big advantage across the start-finish line. Eric Jones continues to pedal. He's in no threat of being challenged by Denny Hamlin, who runs in 3rd. And then Brad Keselowski's done a nice job the last couple laps, Mark, finding that much-needed breathing room for Bubba Wallace, who runs in 5th.
Yeah, Keselowski and Jones are the guys that have really had good runs today. Denny Hamlin has been among the top 3 or 4 most of the day. As a matter of fact, Keselowski gets a really nice run on Denny Hamlin now. Bubba Wallace trying to give chase on it for number 4.
This could be a pretty good battle here for the 3rd spot as Brad Keselowski is 6 car lengths back behind Hamlin. Bubba an equal distance behind Keselowski.
Yeah, so impressive, this restoration of Roush, Fenway, Keselowski, and both of those cars running inside the top 10. Brad Keselowski's had a nice day, holds a 2-car length advantage over that McDonald's car of Bubba Wallace.
Getting the feeling it won't be long before Denny Hamlin Yeley starts a draw beat on Eric Jones. Gets a really good run at the entrance of turn number 3. Pretty good spacing back to Keselowski and Bubba Wallace. Now Chris Buescher sees his miracle up with William Byron off of turn 4.
William Byron took a peek inside. Now he may try the outside in turn 1.
Yeah, they're searching, using different lanes through the dog leg on the front stretch. It'll be Byron who goes topside to try to carry that momentum out of turn number 2. He's got a car length to make up on Chris Buescher.
Pulls right up on the rear of that car. We'll see if he can get to the bottom of the racetrack unless he likes the way his car is planted to the high side. Nope, he'll go to the white line with the left side. He'll pull up door handle to door handle. Side by side, strong move. William Byron going to try to clear him on the turn 4.
We've not talked much about William Byron today, but the driver of the Liberty University Chevrolet trying to give Chris Buescher and that Ford fits out there.
Yeah, just creeping back into the mix. That's how you win championships, and William Byron is doing a fantastic job trying to hold that inside line. Still side by side with Buescher. It's the battle for 6.
That's a good battle for 6, and it stays side by side to the halfway point of the backstretch, and they'll stay side by side to the entrance to 3. William Byron noses a fender out in front, but here he comes to the high side. Chris Buescher on the turn number 4.
Byron tried to squeeze him up top, but Buescher, who almost made contact with the safe barrier, continues to fight from the outside.
Boy, this is really, really good stuff as they've been side by side now for about 2.5, 3 laps. It's Chris Buescher rolling the top side, William Byron trying to take the short way around.
And they have been stuck together side by side for the last 3 or 4 laps, and they stay that way right now to the entrance to 3. It appears as though William Byron is stronger through 3 and 4. Buescher gets a nice run up before it closes back up at the entrance to turn 1.
Well, William Byron finally is able to nudge out ahead of Chris Buescher, and he'll put that battle to rest. But Kevin Harvick's back there fighting with Chase Elliott. They're leaning on each other for 9.
We haven't talked a whole lot about Kevin Harvick. Of course, the Swan Song trip to Texas Motor Speedway, where he's gone to victory lane 3 times. He'll clear Chase Elliott at a turn 4. Move Harvick up to 9.
Late race arrivals, nothing new in the career of Kevin Harvick. It does it time and time again, and he's done it here as that machine, that brother speaks car roars in front of Chase Elliott off of turn number 4.
Tyler Reddick, who caught a bad break, he had a green flag pit stop. The yellow flag comes out for Daniel Suarez almost immediately. Takes the wave around to the tail end of the field, but he is a man on a mission right now, running in the 15th spot, trying to track down Christopher Bell, Ryan Preece, as they work their way out of turn 2, midway down the back straightaway.
Midway down the back straightaway, and it's a pretty good battle. There's several battles going on from 10th on back. Groups of cars running side by side and nose to tail as the leaders head back to turn 1.
And a guy that has not made much progress is Ryan Blaney. This current run is now 15 laps long, and Mark, when we restarted, he was 27th because of the pit road penalty. He's only been able to fight his way up to 23rd.
And again, as you look at exactly the opposite with Tyler Reddick, they dropped the green flag, and he has gone straight to the front. Again, Reddick running in the 15th spot right now, having a little bit of trouble trying to get around Christopher Bell, Ryan Preece in front of Preece now as he starts to put some pressure on Alex Bowman. Bowman running in the 12th spot as they now come back to the start-finish line and rocket back to 1.
Yeah, based on what we've seen, Tyler Reddick feels like he has maybe a 7th or 8th best car on the racetrack, but as you guys touched on, you lose that track position and you get dirty air. In fact, he's got a lot of dirty air as Christopher Bell moves to the inside of Ryan Preece right ahead of Reddick.
Yeah, but those cars are running side by side. He's not going to be able to do much with him at the entrance to turn number 3. Reddick still trying to give chases, and side-by-side battle in front of him continues.
And right now, Kyle Larson is checked out to a 3.7-second advantage over Eric Jones. And we're running out of laps. Just 38 more circuits to go here in the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. That's not a lot of time left. Let's take you through the full field leaderboard here.
Kyle Larson, your leader, followed by Eric Jones, Denny Hamlin 3rd, Brad Keselowski 4th, this with 38 to go. Then you have Bubba Wallace 5th, William Byron 6th, Chris Buescher 7th, Chase Briscoe 8th, 9th is Kevin Harvick, 10th is Chase Elliott.
Ross Chastain, he has rallied here. He is up to 11th, so he's found a little bit of speed and recovered what looked like was going to be a disastrous day, at least to this point. 12th is Alex Bowman, Ryan Preece is 13th, Christopher Bell 14th, Tyler Reddick 15th, Eric Almirola is 16th, Mark Truex Jr. 17th, 18th Justin Haley, 19th Harrison Burton, and 20th Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
21st, Joey Logano. Just let that register for a second. A.J. Allmendinger, 22nd. 23rd, Ryan Blaney. 24th is Michael McDowell. Carson Hocevar, 25th. 26th is Ty Dillon. 27th, J.J. Yeley. Zane Smith, 28th. 29th, Austin Cindric, the last car on the lead lap, -1 in 30th, Daniel Suarez.
31st is BJ McLeod. He is -1, -4 is Corey LaJoie. These other 4 cars are out. Ty Gibbs will be scored 33rd. 34th will be Kyle Busch. Todd Gilliland 35th. And 36th, Austin Dillon. Those last 4 out of the race. The leaderboard update brought to you by Hunt Brothers Pizza, where we love racing and we love pizza. Visit huntbrotherspizza.com or download the new Hunt Brothers Pizza app. And Mark, I'm pretty impressed with the rally that Ross Chastain's had. He was languishing around down there. We thought he might get lapped on the racetrack, but maybe that problem has self-corrected and he's found some speed.
At this point, it certainly looks like that has happened, and as you talked about, it came at the right time and came in the nick of time for Ross Chastain, able to make up some of the track position he lost after having that problem. And it's going to be interesting to take a look at these playoff points when this race is over, but Chastain certainly may be saving the day just a bit for himself.
Now, we do know that the playoff drivers that picked up points today, Tyler Reddick got a playoff point for winning stage 1. Kyle Larson picked up 1 for winning stage 2.
As far as points earned today, Chris Buescher at this point has earned 15, Blaney 11, Denny Hamlin 10, Larson and Reddick also 10. Chase Elliott has picked up 10 stage points. 9 stage points for Eric Jones, 8 for Bell, William Byron 7, and Michael McDowell 6.
Mark James, the lead for Larson's kind of getting scary now.
Yeah, it is for sure. And Eric Jones still with a pretty comfortable advantage over Denny Hamlin. Behind from Keselowski on back, Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Chris Buescher. That's where it's trying to get interesting, guys, as that battle goes back to the start-finish line.
Keselowski leads Bubba Wallace back down into 1.
Yeah, they're separated by about 2 or 3 car lengths. Brad has that 4th spot. Bubba tried to claw into the advantage. In fact, they've been separated by 2 or 3 car lengths for really the last 10 or 15 laps with William Byron right there in the race mark.
Still got to wonder at some point if Denny Hamlin's not going to hit the button in an effort to track down Eric Jones. He's been running about 10 car lengths back. Meanwhile, that battle again, Keselowski, Bubba Wallace, William Byron. Chris Buescher has kind of lost that threesome now as he exits turn number 4.
We have 31 laps to go here in Texas. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty of the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Again, Kyle Larson, your leader, by 5 seconds over Eric Jones.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Sarah wants a yard. My own little paradise. Brad, however, hates yard work.
The only thing I hate more than cutting the grass is paying someone to cut the grass.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Sarah and Brad found a great home with a yard. A very, very small yard.
Time to get it done. And I'm done.
Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
There are only 8 left in the NASCAR playoffs when they come to Vegas. Who will take home the win? Playoff weekend returns, and it's going to be much cooler. It's October 13th through 15th, the South Point 400 NASCAR playoff race. Kids tickets are just $10 on Sunday, free on Saturday. And Friday is free to everyone. That's right, everyone. Concerts, camping, kids fun. We have everything to make the experience one for the memory books. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, October 13th through 15th.
29 laps left to go. Kyle Larson leads. The rest of the top 5, Eric Jones, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, and Bubba Wallace. From Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Hi, this is Doug Rice, host of PRN's Behind the Mic, a podcast where we talk to the top sportscasters from all over this country. People like Tim Roy, the voice of the Golden State Warriors.
It made it so much more interesting and so much more challenging in the sense where you knew that this team was, moving in a historical direction.
Marty Brenneman, the longtime broadcaster for the Cincinnati Reds.
Our engineer, Dave Armbruster, who was with me for 46 years, said, I've just gotten a call from the clubhouse. Lou wants you to put an open appeal out on the air and ask Tom Browning to come back to the ballpark.
Ben Ingram, the play-by-play voice of the Atlanta Braves.
Winning the World Series, that was so much fun. It was the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. Who wouldn't want to repeat that? Broadcasting is easier. What we do is easier when the team that we're covering is performing well.
Remember to check out PRN's Behind the Mic and hear from the great voices of sports wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. All right, if you feel something special, it's because we're ending the Toyota Race to the Checkers, brought to you by Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit ToyotaRacing.com. That is the Toyota commercial-free Race to the Checkers here on PR.
We have 26 laps to go in this race now. Make that 25. They just showed a picture of Rick Hendrick sitting on the war wagon down there on pit lane. And we have the yellow flag now out here at Texas.
Problems on the back straightaway here as J.J. Yaley has brought out the yellow flag. This will be the 9th caution of the day, popping out here on lap 242.
A lot of damage to the rear of Yaley's car as he has found the safer barrier. And so that 5-second lead for Kyle Larson disappears. And I believe we'll for tires, and the big question now, do you risk 2? You could go 4.
I think if you want to make the and that was a spin there for the Patriot Mobile car that got sideways there for J.J. Yaley. Brings out our 9th yellow flag of the day. Nothing close to what we had last year. 16 yellow flags. We've had 9 today, and for 41 laps to this point.
Heavy damage to the left rear of Yaley's car. He's already dropped the window net. He's probably heading for the garage area.
So we've had a little cloud cover here late in this event here today. I'm sure that's to the delight of everybody in attendance here today at Texas Motor Speedway. J.J. Yaley is done. His car is headed to the garage, so that means officially now 5 cars out of the running here at Texas Motor Speedway. J.J. Yaley, Ty Gibbs, Kyle Busch, Todd Gilliland, and Austin Dillon have all retired to the garage area. NASCAR will do a quick perusal of the back.
Last minute call for Kyle Larson today off of pit road. It's 2 tires for Brad Keselowski, Brad Gilly.
William Byron stayed out on my end of pit road. He was the only car that was running in the top 10. It looks like Ryan Blaney is going to go ahead and come in as well. 4 tires and fuel. Brett McMillan.
2 tires for Denny Hamlin. It looks like a 2-tire change also for Chris Buescher. And Eric Jones goes with a 4-tire change. He said the car really started changing after about 25 laps.
As the cars who pitted came off the pit lane, it was Hamlin, Keselowski, and Buescher, followed by Eric Jones and Logano. The big news is Kyle Larson, the leader, did not pit for this. And it also looks like, do we have... I'm trying to see who else.
I know Bubba Wallace stayed out too.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace.
The big ones that came in, it looked like, are Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and Eric Jones. Those cars were all inside the top 10, and they elected to come onto the road.
Larson stayed out. So did Wallace. So did Byron. It looks like Chase Briscoe has stayed out as well. Kevin Harvick stayed out. And also Ross Chastain. So we'll see how the leaderboard is going to shake out. And again, if you're the guys who pitted, you wanted to see kind of like everybody come, and then Kyle Larson would be a sitting duck, but a number of cars have stayed out, and they will be the blocking backs for the cars that just took on tires.
And so for Kyle Larson electing to stay out, that tells you another thing, that they're not worried about tires. Fuel we knew was not a concern. So, and that the big winner in all of this, in this shuffle here, is Bubba Wallace, because he'd been back in 5th. Well, with the other guys in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th pitting, Bubba Wallace is now going to inherit the runner-up spot. He'll start on the front row next to Larson.
And this is going to leave a very short sprint to the end of the race at Texas. So for those cars who pitted, they've lost some track position. And yes, they've got fresher tires, but that's a lot of it to cut through to get to Kyle Larson.
See how this shakes down. Adds a little, it almost always can count on a little late race drama. And that's what we're going to get here, just a touch.
Kind of like the old all-star, wrestling, the 10-minute time limit, and you'd hear somebody slam the mat at 9 minutes, 1 minute left in the 10 minutes, and then all craziness would break out.
2 out of 3 falls in a 30-minute time limit. All right, here we've got only 21 laps left when they come back around. It'll be 1 to go, so they're going to restart this race with just 20 laps left to decide this. Kyle Larson has taken this event over. He has led 98 laps. Bubba Wallace has led 96.
So Kyle Larson is your leader. Bubba Wallace 2nd. William Byron 3rd. 4th, Chase Briscoe. 5th, Kevin Harvick. Chase Elliott 6th. 7th, Ross Chastain. Alex Bowman 8th. 9th, Ryan Preece. 10th is going to be Christopher Bell, and Reddick is in the 11th spot.
All right, it'll be Harrison Burton who's moved up to 12th. Now, there's some shuffling around because some people stayed out and did not come onto the pit lane. It looks like everybody will stay out here. Let's let them tow this around one more time here, and we'll re-rack this starting lineup. Want to make sure that we get this to you exactly right as the pace car pulls the field across the start-finish line. And it'll go to green the next time by. Kyle Larson is the race leader. Bubba Wallace second. William Byron third. Briscoe is fourth. Fifth is Kevin Harvick. Chase Elliott sixth. Ross Chastain seventh. Alex Bowman eighth. Ninth to Ryan Preece. And 10th is Christopher Bell.
Tyler Reddick 11th. 12th, Harrison Burton 13th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Michael McDowell 14th. Before you get to Denny Hamlin, who's the first car off the pit lane who pitted, he's 15th. 16th, Brad Keselowski. Chris Buescher 17th. 18th, Eric Jones. 19th, Joey Logano. Justin Haley in 20th.
Those guys that came and took tires, they got their work cut out for them. The first one will be Hamlin in 15th. 21st is Blaney. 22nd, Almirola. 23rd, Martin Truex Jr. He's not been a factor today. A.J. Allmendinger is 24th. 25th is Ty Dillon. 26th, Zane Smith. Austin Cindric 27th. 28th, Daniel Suarez. Carson Hocevar 29th. B.J. McLeod is 30th. He is minus 2 laps.
The rest of the field, J.J. Yeley, Corey LaJoie, Ty Gibbs, Kyle Busch. Then Todd Gilliland, Austin Dillon in 36th. They're in front of Mark James.
Indeed they are, and it's Kyle Larson restarting to the inside, Bubba Wallace to the outside. Then it's William Byron, then it's Chase Briscoe. Lights off on the pace car. It dives onto pit road as the field approaches the guy.
Wreck the Asian. Come on, Bubba. Prove the white people wrong. Prove the middle-aged white people haters wrong. Prove them all wrong. Please prove the boomers wrong and win. Goddamn.
Outside, it's a 20-lap shootout. Bubba Wallace to the outside. Kyle Larson to the bottom. They'll stay glued together to the apex of turns 1 and 2. Bubba's got a nice charge at the exit of the second corner. Still side by side.
Both got a really nice charge between 1 and 2 and have separated themselves already, but they stay literally door handle to door handle. Side by side, the battle into turn number 3. Larson edges in front now with Bubba Wallace coming back from the high side.
Bubba Wallace rallies from the high side. Down the front stretch they come. At the start-finish line, it's Bubba Wallace by 2 feet, but Larson rallies back on the inside.
These two not giving each other an inch, but Larson gets ways underneath Wallace and took a hard hit to the turn 2 wall.
That allowed William.
Larson! Take that, you stupid racist bitch!
He was okay. The response, yeah, sorry. That was it. Four tires are flat. They're not sure if they hit a wheel.
Yeah, cry, you old man.
Staying cool as ever, just watching this all play out as we watch what happened there, Kyle.
Okay, well, Larson's gonna have PTSD now from Las Vegas.
Larson was clearly going for it, guys.
Mark Era, that's one of the reasons that we said about 35 laps ago. Don't engrave the trophy. Don't award anybody because things like this can easily happen. This is a tough race.
Take that, you fucking Hendrick fans. Take that to the fucking bank.
Just hold the Kyle Larson car around. When you're right there like that, you get very loose down on the bottom of the racetrack, and you almost feel something tugging the rear of that car, pulling it to the right. And Wallace was right on his door, and it's amazing as we talked about that Bubba Wallace didn't get collected, but William Byron was able to sneak by before the yellow flag came out.
Hell yeah, he's saying correct.
Let's go down to Wendy Venturini.
A lot of damage on Kyle Larson's right side, especially the right rear. They cannot jack it up. They had to get another jack out there to get to work under there. They have a Sawzall, and I'm sure some toe link issues are going to be happening. They're going to put tires on. Cliff Daniels is asking the team to make sure that the car, that the tires have clearance so they can roll and try and stay out here as much as possible. But right now they're just trying to get the car jacked up and move. There's the whole right rear of the bumper and around the rear wheel well is all bent up, and now they are cutting around that with the Sawzall, guys. A lot of damage on Kyle Larson's machine.
major playoff implications here. You go from a car that was going to lock itself into the round of 8 to a car, Doug, that's going to be lucky to finish on the same lap, and we have
aggressive goes around.
has cost Kyle Larson in a major way, and has left William Byron now to try to get win 300 for Rick Hendrick.
And that car is chewed up on pit road. I know Wendy said they're going to try to get it back out there, but that machine is used up. It's going to be hard for it, I think, to maintain minimum speed. But these teams can do a lot in a very short period of time. But that also chews up more laps of this race today. Will be 16
Kyle
laps to go when they come back to the line. And the guy that looked like he had this thing all but locked up, had led 99 laps, is now out. And we need to say there was no contact at all between Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson. We've watched the replay half a dozen times. As you said, Larson just had the air sucked off that car and away he went. It's amazing that Bubba was able to slide through that.
Bubba Wallace hung tough on the outside.
Kyle farted.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. Larson now has lost a lap. He's about to lose a second lap. That will put him in the 29th position. BJ McLeod has lost 2 laps, so Larson will probably drop.
Kyle farted.
-5 is Corey LaJoie in 31st. So this is going to cost Kyle Larson in such a major, major way.
So the guy that, as you said, Mark, looked like he may be punching the ticket to move on to the round of
Both Kyles farted.
is out of this race for all practical intents and purposes. They may get that car wired back together and get out for a little bit, but as you said, he's probably destined for about a 29th place finish, even if they do pull off a miracle and get him back on the racetrack. That was a wicked crash down there in 1.
It's hard. You don't wreck easy at Texas Motor Speedway. You're pumping 175 or so, probably 180 or more going into that corner. And it made hard contact in the back. It then whipped around once, twice, 3 times for Larson before it slid down the banking. And again, Bubba Wallace on that restart, man, he just would not let go of Kyle Larson. He stayed right there on the passenger door to the outside of Larson, and you, again, had very little room between those 2 cars. The inside car has to know there's not a lot of downforce right there in that situation. You may wonder why Larson didn't back up and say, okay, Bubba, take the lead, and then I'll come back on you. But again, racing hard. I mean, you're racing for the win. You're racing for a chance to lock into the round of 8. You don't give an inch. Neither did, and Larson came out on the low end.
Mark, we were kind of glib earlier saying, well, the driver that'll get Rick Hendrick his 300th win today most likely is Kyle Larson. Now, Larson's eliminated, but the second place guy is William Byron, and you go down to 4th, and it's Chase Elliott, and Alex Bowman is hanging around in 7th, so Rick Hendrick still has 3 of the top 7 cars running out there. He is not all the way out of the running for maybe securing his 300th victory today.
And William Byron, Doug, is one of those drivers and that team known this year for just getting better and better during the race. And Byron has been creeping further and further towards the front all afternoon long. So he's been heading in the right direction for quite a while in this Auto Trader. Echo Park Automotive 400 now has a chance to win it. And what can you say about Bubba Wallace? Again, he's led this race 5 times for 96 laps, or make that 98 laps. And every time things haven't gone their way, Bubba's found a way to battle his way back. His crew has used strategy, good pit stops, and now strategy to put him up front on the point with a chance to win here late.
A guy that we haven't talked much about today is Kevin Harvick out there. His last race at Texas Motor Speedway, he's cruising around at 6th right now at Hunt Brothers Pizza Ford. So he could leave here easily with a top 10 finish.
Tyler Reddick, Doug, has also made a remarkable comeback from that problem. Again, he made just a regular old green flag pit stop. Unfortunately, Daniel Suarez right behind him spun, and the yellow flag came out, pinned him a lap down. He used the wave around to get back on the lead lap, but he was deep in this pack. He has now wrestled his way back to 9th.
Be going green the next time by. This will be the choose line time as they cross the start-finish line. They'll be racing next time by. Bubba Wallace will be the race leader, and he'll be joined on the front by William Byron, and Bubba will pick the outside line.
Interesting. So Bubba Wallace outside. William Byron goes to the inside here on this restart. It'll take place with 13 laps to go, and Nick Yeoman, what do you got for who's in row 2 there? It looks like Chase Elliott inside.
Yeah, it's a pair of chases. Chase Elliott to the inside, Chase Briscoe to the outside. Then in row 3, it is Kevin Harvick, his teammate Ryan Preece Then in row 4, Ross Chastain and Alex Bowman as we're set to go.
Thanks for setting the field there, Nick Yeoman and Mark James, your turn announcers here today. Got to thank Steve Swift, the head of operations for Speedway Motorsports. Rigged up some canopies for our guys today, so they're not quite out in the sun like they were yesterday.
Oh, jeez. This is going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy restart.
Lights off on the pace car. We'll have 13 laps to go when they come back to the line.
Oh,
Mother
gosh.
Nature's canopy in the form of cloud cover has provided badly needed relief for everyone throughout most of this afternoon, Doug Rice. We are in for a 13-lap shootout.
This is scary.
Run side by side. Pace car is off as they head for the Geico restart.
Pull those belts tight one more time.
To get his 300th win, it could be Williams.
Pull those belts tight one more time, guys.
The race lead into turn number 2. It's going to be
Holy shit.
Briscoe and Elliott swallowed up William Byron. Truck kicked into 4.
Yeah, not a good restart for William Byron at all. He's trying to gather it back in and try to gain a spot. He's going to go to the bottom of the racetrack and try to get that spot back from Chase Elliott. They go side by side on turn number 3.
Holy crap. Briscoe. Jesus.
Trouble front stretch. Ryan Blaney in about 4 or 5 cars.
What happened? Oh, shit. Hold on. Wait, who is that? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Well, there goes that one.
And Allmendinger in this as well. So, wow. Big wreck.
A.J. Allmendinger get out. He's got a little gimp in his walk here, Mark. That was pretty wicked hit. He took that right below our broadcast position. And Eric Jones, who's had a great car all day long, his car now sets on the racetrack, and Eric Jones is out of that machine. He'll get the AMR ride back to the infield care center. Here's a nasty crash in the back of the pack here at Texas Motor Speedway.
And it got all kind of jostled up. One car got off the wall. 2 cars got off the wall. It's almost like some kind of liquid that was down.
What the hell?
3 or 4 cars bounced off the wall by themselves, and then they started wrecking big down the straightaway. A big impact for Blaney, Allmendinger, Jones, sliding across through there was Zane Smith.
First, they thought everything looked good and the right rear tire was down, but it sounds like they've got some components broken on the right side as well. The right side is jacked up right now. You can see the heavy damage right there, and the crew is not necessarily working too terribly fast right now, so they're going to have to see what they can do to fix that if they can get him back out. Been a tough day for Ryan Blaney today, who is running up in the top.
But Kyle Larson went out. He went to make a lap. NASCAR called him in. The clock had expired before he had left his pit stall. Cliff Daniels called Kyle Larson to the garage area, and they are done for the day from an expired clock on the damage they sustained on trying to get that racing around Bubba Wallace.
Instead of finishing first, Kyle Larson will finish 31st in this race today. Tough break for him. Watching the replay, Doug, the first car to bounce off the wall was Tyler Reddick. He had been running in the 9th position. They had to, I believe they might have pitted that car. There's some damage to the right rear of Reddick, but 3 or 4 cars went bang, bang, bang into the outside fence, and that 2nd or 3rd car in line got turned, and then it was on.
And it's going to take a little while to get these cars off the racetrack. They have got Eric Jones's car on the hook now. He's headed back to the garage, and the number of retirees from this track is really going to grow. We had 6 cars out. You can add Kyle Larson to that. He'll be 7th. Eric Jones 8th. A.J. Allmendinger 9 cars will not finish this race, and we've still got another restart left to go.
Eric Jones's car is absolutely tore up.
Holy
right front
shit.
in a big way. Also, a left front for A.J. Allmendinger. I mean, that car's caved in. I mean, A.J. took a big, big impact. And watching now Kyle Larson take a little bit of a ride probably to the care center here at Texas Motor Speedway. Just part of the deal when you've been in the wreck.
Eric Jones' sponsor today.
Hey, look, it's that one guy.
Everybody.com Chevrolet. Everybody got the better of him today late in the race. Wow. Up because that was a really good race car. It looked like he was maybe a lock for a top 10 at one point, maybe a top 5 finish.
Doug, he was one of those cars that opted for tires when all those cars stayed out, so he all of a sudden was mired in mid-pack, and when you're in mid-pack late in the race, all take, no give, this is what happens. We have a 6-car, 7-car pileup here on the front stretch.
And two of the cars that are involved in this are playoff contenders, as Tyler Reddick kind of triggered this. He doesn't have a lot of damage, but it's going to hurt his finishing position. Ryan Blaney was also involved in this. Kyle Busch is already out. Kyle Larson is out. We're going to have a major reshuffling, Mark, of the playoff standings when we leave Texas Motor Speedway.
Now, NASCAR and the safety crews have cleared all the cars off the racetrack that crashed here on the front stretch in Texas. Now they have some safety trucks out there. They're trying to blow some debris off the racetrack, make sure there's nothing there that could cut down a tire, trying to make things absolutely as race safe as they can. And when the cars come by here under yellow, there'll be 8 to go, and you got to figure there's going to be at least a couple more laps before this might clear out. And again, as these safety vehicles, again, we have a sweeper truck here on the front stretch, again, trying to sweep up any of the debris. They have a jet dryer that's trying to blow it off as well into the grass here along the front stretch. So a little bit of work still left to go.
And Mark, looking at the impact on the playoffs, right now Tyler Reddick is being scored back in the 25th position. Okay, maybe he picks up a couple of more spots here in the late race restart. He's going to have a disastrous day. Kyle Larson has crashed out. Kyle Busch is out. Ryan Blaney is going to have a pretty poor day because he was involved in this crash, and he'll be able to continue, but he's not going to have any kind of finish. So this is huge impact here for some of the playoff contenders, including some of the top playoff contenders.
Absolutely, and it will be a good day if William Byron can finish. A good day for him. Also, Denny Hamlin. And let's now, again, take a look at Hamlin. Now, he pitted for those tires. He has dodged the mayhem. He is currently scored in the 7th position. He's got tires. These guys in front of him do not. So we'll have to see if he's got enough time.
That could play. Depends how many laps we have when we go back to green. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Bruh. Park it. Park that fucking car, dude. Park the fucking car, dude. It's done. Blaney, that thing's done. Park it. Park the car.
Watching Ryan Blaney go down the speedways in turn 1, Nick, I don't think they're going to let him proceed like that.
Yeah, you guys were kind of running through the order of the drivers that right now outside the fence line. You said, I think Ryan Blaney's going to be able to continue on, but yeah, you guys have seen it. He's crab walking that car. It is pointed to the right. He's going to be parking that thing momentarily.
Yeah, right front tires are right. The left rear tire is down and left. It's just kind of sideways, kind of walking down through there.
Well, we've got a race to decide here, but after that's all done, we'll run you through the playoff points and give you the standings. 1 to go, so the next time by, they will turn them loose, and that's just a half dozen laps left to go here in the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Nick, you've seen a pretty good show here today.
Yeah, it's been a really good show. Drivers have just hit the choose zone. It looks like Bubba Wallace once again going to choose that outside line. He rocketed his way on that previous restart, so we'll see if he can do the same. He's going to have Chase Briscoe to his inside.
Oh, God. Here we go. Here we go. We're back to this again. Oh, jeez. Come on, Bubba. Prove them wrong. Prove the haters wrong. Come on.
Bubba Wallace to the inside.
The underdog win. Come on. The playoff upset win. Come on.
Harvick and Chastain in row 3. Then in row 4.
Come on, Bubba. Come on. You got this. You fucking got this. Come on.
Jr. Christopher Bell making up row number 5 there in front of Mark James.
What a day it's been for Bubba Wallace. I mean, through the first third of this race, no one had anything for him.
Come on.
This year, treasured clean air. Gonna be interesting to see if the last third of the race shapes up as well for him. Chase Briscoe to his inside.
Oh, gosh. Oh, I'm getting anxious. I'm getting fucking anxious. Oh, my God.
At Texas. Can Bubba
Oh
Wallace
my
hold on
gosh.
and punch his ticket to round number 3. The green flag's out.
Here we go.
Wallace gets a big
Here we go.
jump on the outside.
Oh shit.
Now William
Oh shit.
Byron looking up.
Oh
Really
shit.
strong. He's
Oh
started on the high
shit.
side of the racetrack, then got to the bottom of the racetrack. They start to go 3 wide to the entrance at turn number 3. Look at William Byron storm to the front of the turn number 4.
Okay. You know what? No, I'm keeping the shit muted because it's way too fucking ahead. All right, William Byron. Holy shit! Look at the run he's getting. Oh, are you fucking serious, dude? Bubba, no, Bubba, are you no, are you fucking kidding me? No. God damn it, fuck. All right, what do we do? Bubba, do something. Going in turns 1 and 2, 5 laps to go. Here at Texas. Ross Chastain, now he goes up to second. Now he's going to try passing Byron for first if he can catch up to him. Oh my fucking God. Well, the boomers are happy. All right, coming out of 4. Coming to the line. 4 laps to go here at Texas. Byron's still your leader. Chastain second, Bubba Wallace third. Bruh, are you fucking serious, bro? That is stupid as shit, bro. What the fuck? Someone wreck. Someone hit the fucking wall. I don't care. I need a caution. That is horseshit. 3 laps to go here at Texas. Bruh, I wanted Bubba to win so fucking bad. God damn it, bro. What the fuck? We already know Byron was going to make it in. Shit, he didn't have to win. Jesus Christ. That's just fucking dumb. And Chastain's being a fucking dumbass. And now he almost got Bubba killed. Because now we got Bell trying to make a move on him. 2 laps to go here at Texas. Bruh. This is fucking dumb. Are you kidding me? Bubba had that shit in the bag. He fucking had that. He fucking had that. And we all fucking know it. We all know it. Coming out of turn number 4. Here we go. 1 lap to go here at Texas. William Byron still your leader. Chastain second. Bubba Wallace third. Christopher Bell 4th. Denny Hamlin in 5th. Coming out of 2. Coming down the backstretch. 1 final time. Byron still your leader. Entering turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Here we go. Coming out of turn number 4. William Byron with a great restart. He is going to win at Texas. That was fucking dumb, dude. I'm actually disappointed. I'm pissed. I am fucking pissed. He should, dude. Bubba had that. He had that in the fucking bag. We all know it too. We all fucking know it. God, this is fucking stupid. Stupid. Well, look, at least fucking Byron won it, though. I didn't want Kyle Larson getting fucking favored again from Hendrick being like, oh, he's my favorite driver because he got my 300th win. Like, I'd rather have it be someone else besides fucking Larson and Elliott, alright? Those two are just fucking, you know, like, bleh. I don't like them. Byron, though, you know what? Whatever. I'll be okay with, but damn it, I really wanted Bubba to win. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. Byron wins at Texas. Bubba got 3rd. Who got 2nd? 2nd was fucking God, I can't remember now. 2nd was shit. I'm stupid. I just had a brain fart. I literally just forgot who got 2nd. Oh my God. Oh, anyway, still that finish was somewhat okay. that's probably going to do it here. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Oh, Chastain got second. Okay. Yep, Byron first, Chastain second, Bubba Wallace third, Bell fourth, and I think that said Hamlin in fifth. Pretty sure. Something like that. But anyways, yeah. That's going to do it here, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by the stream. Love you guys. I may have a video this week. I don't know. But I'll see y'all guys next weekend. So, again, guys, love y'all so much. Keep up support. Stay safe and have a good night. Bye-bye.